Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. For those that are just hearing this right now, Charlie Kirk
Yeah, what's up,
was
Rainbow?
shot and killed at his event in Utah. And it's absolutely one of the most horrific things. We have this report from CNN. I was awaiting official confirmation. The first thing I want to say is Charlie is an absolute legend, and he was a good friend. I'm not going to pretend like we hung out this guy. I hung out this guy, knew him better than, my homies or whatever. But I just want to say, man, I've done a lot in business and in media. Charlie is a king. He was always super good to us.
Yeah, the shot was crazy. It was a hard video to watch. I mean, like even just the physical nature, like the bullet entry and the amount of blood that came out. I don't know if you saw like a close up version of it, but it was like, holy fuck, man! You just saw him just go, instantly, man.
I don't even know if I should be doing a live stream on this, but Charlie was a very important, one of the most important people in this country, one of the hardest workers, one of the smartest guys. I can't believe that I'm looking at this article right now. I shouldn't be, but I figured it'd be important to make sure that you all knew that I did what I could. This is what I do, and I was torn a little bit. I'm a news and opinion guy, and when the story breaks, I have the video, I have the tweet. This is what I do. This is my job. And to have to do a job that affects me so personally like this, I thought maybe I should just not do anything. But Charlie was the best, and he was a good man, and he will always be remembered for that. And I just still can't believe it. Let me give you guys the news. Let me read for you what the reports are saying. Donald Trump has issued a statement on Charlie Kirk. And I'll tell you what I know, what I can tell you about on our end. I just want to say to his family, anything.
So his goodness is son, Destiny, and feel nearly the same way. Yeah, nobody should die. Nobody should be killed like this. I mean, I don't care how vast the political divide is between individuals or groups of people. It's just, it's not the way to go. I saw a couple clips of him with his daughters, and I was like, man, that is, it's not right, man.
Anyone, any of you guys, whatever you need. CNN has reporting on this. Trump says conservative activist Charlie Kirk is dead. Rapid Response 47, a statement from Donald Trump. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth of the United States better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me. And now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. At Charlie's event in Utah, is a very large crowd, and he was speaking under a tent, as he normally does, as was so famously depicted in one of the most recent South Park episodes. That was the legend. That is the legend. That is Charlie Kirk. Shots rang out. It appeared in the initial videos. He was shot in the neck. That appears to be the case. Subsequently, more videos were published on X showing the severity. Reporting had circulated for the past hour or so that he was in critical but stable condition, with the AP making that statement. It is now being reported across the board that Charlie has not made it. And
no worries. It's all good.
I can't believe it. Charlie was the best. TPUSA is the I don't know, the most prominent and important political organization that we have in this country. with many people saying that it rivals or even surpassed that of the RNC and what the GOP could even muster up. So I don't know if there's any official updates.
I'm drinking a Modelo myself, so it's all good. Middle-aged Facebook post about it. His family losing a father and husband. I want people to be sure they understand a family is now destitute. I think you meant there as they celebrate. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, I tend to not post anymore on social media. Very, very rarely. The only thing I really post is just like when I'm streaming on like Twitter or something. If I just like putting my YouTube stream out there. Because it's all the same. It's all the same. Every time it's like, I'm right. No, I'm right. I'm the good guy. No, I'm the good guy. You're the bad guy. No, you're the bad guy. It's just every fucking Facebook post is like that. So I don't even bother anymore. But I was scrolling through it today and it was fucking depressing. It was so depressing reading leftist Facebook pages, man. Holy shit. Any of them checking to see how those children were killed today? No, not a lot of coverage on that one. What's up, XN?
The suspect in the shooting is not yet in custody, according to a spokesperson from Utah Valley University, despite the school saying earlier police did have someone in custody. Photos and video did emerge of a man being detained and held, but these are initial reports, and it's hard to know what exactly is true. I got a lot to say on this personally, of course, but I want to try and hold back on that because, you know, with all due respect, I don't know. I want to make sure you guys just get as much of the big picture as you can. And then obviously, you know, we here are, we do the news. We're constantly making phone calls. We have sources in the administration. And I had put out a few tweets. But let me give you a little bit more of these details. Trump previously praised Kirk as critical to his gains among young voters. The latest update being that Charlie Kirk has died. This appears to be the event he was speaking at.
Telling me it's about the last hour trying to get people to realize they're complete scumbags with the posts they've been making. It's pointless, dude. It is pointless. That's why I don't even do it, man. I don't even engage. I know it's pointless. Absolutely pointless. I stopped posting a long time ago, man. Once I started seeing like friends who I knew for a long time unfriend me after I voted for Trump, then I was like, all right, this is it. No more social media for me.
Broadcastify audio details Charlie Kirk shooting. They have, it appears to be, this is Utah County Public Safety broadcast. Statements, UVU by the Sound reported one individual was shot, unknown where the shooter went. Let's be advised, UVU and Orem has an active shooter at the Charlie Kirk event. We're getting several calls. We're trying to get more information. The official continued. Are they requesting help? Another official asked. We're not sure yet. We're just trying to get units that way. The first official responded. Charlie was just doing what he did. There's videos, there's photos. This is the latest that we have on the matter. If you guys are hearing anything, please chat or super chat, and I'll try and read what you guys have to say. Just give you guys a glimpse of what the reporting looks like on our end, and I'll explain to you what was happening to me. I shouldn't say it like that. I'm not trying to in any way imply anything. I'm saying, like, we were doing the work, and there are questions around the information we get, when we can reveal it, and what we know. And I want to explain for you, I hope this helps clear up the state of events and the timeline for those that are curious. On my X, of course, let me just pull this up for you guys. Some people had stated, I had put out a tweet that they're reporting that he had died. I had previously, only minutes before, reported that he was stable. So I want to explain to you what's going on, and just here's my tweet from 27 minutes ago. Reports are that Charlie has died. There is no suspect in custody. TP UK had tweeted, "Charlie is alive and fighting in the hospital.
what's up,
Please
Evan?
join us in praying for him."
Crazy week, yeah.
And I'll avoid the hyper-partisan stuff. AP reported that he was alive and in critical condition. And I have this tweet. Source tells me that Charlie is stable. So here's a timeline of events. We were having a business meeting. I think this was about 2 hours ago. In the vehicle, I received a phone call informing me of what just immediately happened. And this was within probably a minute or so of the shooting. I began to take a look at what was going on and immediately started getting phone calls from people that we work with, our sources, our friends who work with TPUSA. And initially, you know, I don't want to tweet out too much. And I was informed by a high-level source that Charlie had been stabilized. And that is my tweet. Source tells me Charlie is stable, please God. I received a call from a trustworthy source who told me this. I want to believe, and I'm hoping. An individual who, I will just stress, wanted to remain off the record, or not off the record, but anonymous. And this is an individual, very top level, who informed me that Charlie was stable. And I asked them, can I post this? And they said yes. And so this seemed to be it was correct. Charlie was stable. I had gotten a phone call probably around the same time that Just the News had reported this, confirming to me that Charlie had died. And I just wanted to wait a little bit to make sure because I don't want to believe it. I can't believe it. I'm extremely angry. And I don't even have the right to be the angriest, of course. I can't believe this. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the phone calls. I couldn't believe what anybody was telling me. And the only thing I could believe was when they said that he was stable. As the only thing I could believe, because I had to. And I received a phone call a little while ago informing me that Charlie didn't make it. There are some evil people, especially online right now. These videos, these outlets, and I feel like it's not real. Charlie was my friend. He was a good guy. He stuck his neck out for me and my team more than I can say anybody else. And it's not like we don't do a lot with TPUSA. And that's what meant so much to me. That for the past several years, I was just texting with the guy, man. They had me on stage. I have done a lot of business in this industry. I have met some of the sleaziest people you can imagine, and Charlie was the best. I'm not just saying that. He brought us out to his event. He takes care of my crew. He gets us the production that we need, and we don't even ask. He invites me, a guy who I have publicly stated my political disagreements with Charlie Kirk, but the respect I have for his willingness to sit with me, to have conversations with me, to have debates. And I do think we agree on a lot of things, which is why it makes sense. And it's just amazing how accommodating, how easy, how generous. We got to be at his event, something he built. He started as a young man, working harder than anybody I can imagine to build up Turning Point and Turning Point Action and send a message and inspire young people and promote good and peace and morals. And I'm just some guy who complains on the internet. I've traveled around, I've done reporting, but he does the real hard work. He built a real machine that was fixing this country, and it still is. It still is. And I was lucky enough to be able to be a part of his event that he took care of us and my crew.
I think the left has a heavy hand with Bernie modernly. What do you mean? What do you mean about that one? You saying like the left gives Bernie too much shit right now? I mean, I send fucking memes to Anoke all the time of fucking tankies and fucking Ancoms and all these people who, you know, call Bernie Sanders right wing. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but
there's a lot that I want to say that I'm not going to say, but I will say that I'll just paraphrase some of these posts. This is not just the assassination of a political leader. They killed our friend. Charlie would come down to your event and he would sit there at that table and you, literally anybody, could come up and he would talk to you. Left, right, up, down, top, down, whatever. I'm still sitting here thinking in the back of my mind, this is not correct. CNN's wrong. They're fake news. And I'm going to get a text in a moment saying, Tim, stop. Charlie's okay. Yeah. I'll take some of your guys' super chats if you guys want to add anything. Charlie, you're a legend. When Donald Trump got shot, I was at a poker room. I was at Potawatomi in Wisconsin. We were gearing up for the RNC. There was a local state rep. We're both sitting there. TVs are playing sporting events or something. I don't know, sports betting. And my phone blows up. And this was just, I think, what was it, Sunday? I can't remember what day of the week it was, but we had just traveled into town. Our crew drove the equipment. We were doing a week at a hotel during the RNC because they were all spread out. And when Trump got shot, it was a shock and it was terrifying. And he was okay and he made it through. What happened to Charlie hit like a sack of bricks in my face. I guess it's just different, man. Everybody's saying war. Here's what I hope. No war. I don't want war. I don't want to learn more about my friends getting hurt. I don't want to see more videos of people I know, good people, getting hurt. We spend so much time talking about the rest of the world, Nepal, Ukraine. It doesn't hit close to home the way this does. So no, I don't want war. I don't want it. No, I want to order Buffalo Wild Wings and put on the game. I want to watch a baseball game with my friends and play some poker. $20, just you and the boys, you know what I mean? Having a good time hanging out. Play some cards. Skateboard. Maybe throw some disc golf with the boys. I don't want to have to worry about looking over my shoulder. What I will say is we're canceling our events for obvious reasons. I got to confer with the crew on exactly how this plays out and what this means. But my phone is on fire right now with security as at the highest level it could possibly be. And we had an upcoming event. I was going to be on the ground at a university doing much the same. I just want to stress, this is about Charlie. This is about the evil people in this world that he led the charge against. And they couldn't stand for it. The calling out of demons. MSNBC had a commentator who said, I should pull it up. I want to stress this as I pull up this clip. temperatures need to remain leveled, calm, because this one is lighting people up. And I saw this clip, and I was told that Charlie, you see right before I posted, he was alive and in critical condition, and stable, alive, in critical condition, still could be brain dead. And then I see this. But I want to say this before I play the clip for you guys. I am trying to be as strong as I can and committed to reason so that we do not react in the worst imaginable ways. No one should, and I hope they don't. This is a time to think of Charlie and his family, to send our thoughts and prayers and anything we can do to help him, his family, his friends, the people he works with. This is not a time for blind rage. But I do think it's appropriate to show this clip from MSNBC.
Then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt,
and that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Turning Point USA has confirmed that he was shot. And there are a number of...
Remarkable. Remarkably inappropriate, but that's what they think. That Charlie Kirk is hateful, so he should expect this to happen to him. I think it's in poor taste, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Charlie did. He had the best security. That's why we couldn't believe it. How is it possible? So, MSNBC, far from the worst. I would just call this statement inappropriate at the time to disparage the work of Charlie Kirk at a moment so serious. And I will give a shout out, what deserving of a shout out they get to these liberals. I'm not going to just start naming everybody, but there's a handful of liberals, excuse me for wiping snot off my nose, a handful of liberals who have denounced this, who have called for justice. And I can respect that, and that's what we need, because
Finally,
we do not want this escalation.
Mars has
but
accepted
I warn
my
you,
sacrifices
Reddit,
and unleashes
Blue
me.
Sky, and even on X,
Ew. From
the
me. Thank you
videos
for
that
the
are
follow.
popping up, your blood won't just boil, it will turn to steam and burst from your ears. Man. Man, I don't even know. Part of me didn't want to do anything. Do a stream, talk about it, tweet, make a video. I had tried making a video when it happened because I'm torn between making sure everybody knows, that's what I do, but also not wanting to be in the middle of whatever, is happening. Man.
Thought we were the guy talking.
I saw a handful of
No,
videos
it's
from
not
prominent
me.
conservatives, everybody who knew Charlie, and everybody's crying. Men, you are allowed to cry when they kill Charlie Kirk. I will say that. I don't know what to say or do. I'll try and grab some of your super chats and try and talk about it, I guess. I'm torn because this is again, I stress it greatly personally affects so many more people than me. I mean, we're in the DC area. I don't live in Arizona. I don't regularly work at Turning Point or anything like that. But this is personal. That makes it difficult because I feel like I shouldn't be talking about it at all. This is for reporters and news anchors and to discuss, not for me. Maybe we'll hear from the people who worked closely with him. We'll get more information on this. So I'll pull up X right now and see if I can find any new updates of what we have, and just You know, people are calling out Gavin Newsom. Yeah, wow. We have a statement from Scott Jennings on CNN. Let me pull this in for you guys. Scott's always been great.
Now, Charlie and I work together. He's on the Salem radio network. He has the radio show that's on from noon to 2 each day. I'm on from 2 to 3, so I had just come on to do my show, and about halfway through it, we got the news that Charlie had been shot, and so I had to talk through it this afternoon.
What's
and
up,
I'll
Sol?
be honest with you, I am in utter disbelief at this. I sat in this room last summer, the night they shot the president, and now they shot Charlie. And I'm not sure it's safe to be an outspoken conservative walking around in America right now. And there's a lot of people out there who are in absolute shock and are horrified by this. And I don't know what's going to happen other than to tell you that this nation is in desperate need of prayer and some kind of an intervention, because when you can't, I mean, what was Charlie doing? Making a speech, engaging in rhetoric, having a debate. That's the bedrock of our nation. And now you can't go out in public and engage in speech. It's the opposite of violence. Speech is the opposite. And so I don't know what's going to happen to Charlie. All I can really think about is his poor wife and those 2 babies. And so I think the best thing any of us can do right now is just pray for his recovery and pray for their comfort, because God help us, we're in a bad place.
Ben Shapiro has issued a statement. Ben says, like all of you, I am utterly stunned and heartbroken and sick to my soul today. It is unimaginable to write these words. I met Charlie when he was 18 years old. A young man, eager and determined, so eager and determined that I immediately turned to a friend and said, that kid is going to be the head of the RNC one day. Charlie became even bigger and more important than that. It was a privilege to watch this principled man stand up for his beliefs and create the single most important conservative political organization in America.
What's up, this?
And more importantly, Charlie was a good man, a man who believed in right and wrong, who stood by his biblical values. All of us will miss him, and I can't imagine the pain of his beautiful young family. And we must all pray for them. And we must pick up the baton where Charlie left it, fighting for things he believed in so passionately. And we must fight for a better America, an America where good people can speak truth and debate passionately without fear of a bullet. I weep for Charlie's family, and I weep for my country today. Most of all, I weep for Charlie. I should have brought tissues or something in here. I'm losing it. I do have it. I'm just checking out, I'm going through the news. We have just more news. Carl Benjamin says, remember that Charlie Kirk's entire career was focused around winning the debate in proper democratic fashion, and they still shot him. Will Kane, brother, shout out. You have a great show. I love watching your show, 4 p.m.s. And he had a moment of silence.
I don't disagree, Exxon.
And I could see it.
I don't disagree with you.
I could see it in your eyes, brother. The same as I felt it in mine. This is a day of tremendous evil. Dave Portnoy. Rip Charlie Kirk. It doesn't matter what your opinion is of Charlie or his politics. If you don't view this as one of the darkest days in American history, then you are part of the problem. Dave, shout out, man. Shout out to Barstool. I'm a big fan. Don't always agree with Dave. He's kind of a wild guy. But I appreciate it. There's a lot of videos in my feed right now of leftists celebrating, and I want you all to know, I think it's important that you guys know that this sentiment does exist. And I think you already know that. But I don't think it is healthy or good for us right now to sit here and surround ourselves by videos of demons and evil who will fill our hearts with rage. They seek to make us irrational beings. We must be purely rational and smart. Express your emotions, feel your emotions, and be a human. But the next move made by those of us who are fighting for the soul of this nation and for the betterment of humanity has to be correct, precise, appropriate, etc. And the last thing that will benefit this nation is any retaliation, violence, or otherwise. That being said, I'm talking about in a wanton physical context. Now, if you want to talk about divine retribution and retribution, earthly retribution, this can all be easily accomplished through the systems by which we are winning, the political infrastructure, and Charlie and the work that he did and the mountain that he built has empowered so many people to carry on and push towards this victory. Do not let them destabilize that. We'll read some more here. It's just, I'm not pulling up the X feed because there's a lot of really dark stuff on there. But I do want to, for the statements being issued by a lot of these high-profile people. Oh my God, it's hard to look at these MSNBC clips, guys. I can't believe this. I'm gonna pull up this clip. I just can't.
People are really upset, and they start lashing out online, and they start blaming others for what led up to this. I mean, we see it when Democrats are targeted. We see it when Republicans are targeted, and we're seeing it with this. Anna Paulina Luna, who's a representative from Florida, has put this out on X. She's blaming the Democrats. She's blaming the rhetoric the Democrats use calling Republicans fascist. She's saying you are the hate. If you're in the FBI field office and you see this sort of stuff bubbling up online, how worried do you get about somebody taking up the cause of Charlie Kirk and lashing out on somebody who's seen as a Democrat or somebody who is a Democrat?
Taking up the cause of Charlie Kirk? To set up a table and ask you to come and have a conversation with me?
Yeah, I've seen it.
How does
it's pretty brutal.
How do we survive as a nation in something like this, with something like this? I tell you, we will be better men. We will be reasoned. We will be rational, and we will guide our anger through the appropriate means, the calm and collected, and we will remember and we will know what Charlie Kirk fought for and why we will pick up that, all of us, each and every one, his cause. But it is terrifying to me that I have talked about this, you have talked about this, Charlie has talked about this. There are angry people that care not for reason or solutions. They seem to just act towards destruction. And we fight every day to plead with them, to not be destructive. I had a conversation earlier about racial violence in this country, how we work towards solving it, why people hold these views. And every day, as this urban moderate liberal, they scream and they lie. They call me racist and white supremacist. And I'm sitting here being like, I want the black community in this country to flourish, to be wealthy and successful with smiles on their faces.
Doubted, excellent.
But I look across the political battlefield, and it's just, it's this.
What's the Utah polygamous theory? What's going on there?
Trump got shot. He was almost shot again. There was a third plot. That guy didn't get close. I just can't. I was just, I don't know how to even say it. It's like, I was just texting with the guy. It's the weirdest thing. I've talked quite a bit recently about, where I come from on the South Side, and it's crazy to hear when people, lose their lives. But this just doesn't seem real or possible. Let me grab some of what you guys have to say, and I want to, if you guys are seeing updates or any other information.
Yeah,
Kate
what's up,
Gable
Rob? How you doing?
says, is this the tipping point towards civil war, in your opinion? I was getting asked that right away. Seriously. And it's because the meme is Tim Pool talks about civil war all the time.
See the link.
Maybe. I actually talk about it when it's in the news. Like I talk about anything that's in the news. Nobody calls me the World War III guy. You know what I mean? Nobody makes memes about me saying World War III. Every time something happens and the media says World War III, I roll my eyes and I'm like, I get it. Putin is saying it. Maduro is saying it. I had a friend of mine said to me, is there going to be a war? Like because Charlie is the leader of the most prominent political organization in the country.
Do we really need to argue against polygamy? Online discourse has exploded into a debate about whether it's actually best for men and women to have only one spouse. Charlie and his stepmom talk about why monogamy isn't just biblical and moral, but also a superior social technology over more primitive setups. Plus, the Treasury Department show. Well, this is like a 30-minute thing. But at least I have context for what you're talking about here. Interesting. Did you already listen to it?
It's actually it's more than what's Turning Point USA. It's Turning Point Action. There's Turning Point UK. And this is my friend. He's not very political. And I said, this is what war looks like. I'm not saying it's a war. I don't want it to be. I don't want to have to explain to my wife why we have to deal with things like this. None of you do.
What's up, Jazz? PPG's on kick with his shirt off. Yeah, that's what he does. It sounds about right. Oh, man. I'm sure he's having a laugh today. Don't bring that fucker up.
But I've explained this.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't celebrate pedos in here. Yo, what's up, Red? How you doing? War memes? We're doing... All memes are allowed as long as you're not celebrating PPG. That's all that matters. If you unironically celebrate PPG, then you can get the fuck out. But, I usually don't, put the quash on anybody when they want to meme. Even for something like this. If you wanted to meme, go ahead. No, just undeniable at this point. Who else is powerful enough to shoot him in public view and escape a manhunt this long? That would be so crazy if it was like a fucking crazy Utah polygamist. Damn. I mean, think about it. I mean, they escaped. No one knows who they are. They clearly had a plan. I'm pretty sure. I think the guy grabbed the bullet casing after he left. Or after he shot. I mean, I don't know. You might be onto something next time. Work is Temple. Yeah, exactly. No. It's okay. It's all good, Red. Civil War. He did say it earlier. He didn't say Civil War, but he was like, I've been saying it. I've been saying it for a long time. Civil War. It's all good, though. Some dude that loves, yeah, exactly. Oh, shit, we saw... Yeah, what's up, Mida? Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm playing on my other hard drive. My SSD right now is completely fucked, so I gotta take my whole thing apart and reseed it and hope it gets recognized. But I just reinstalled it on my C drive, so I'm playing it again. Fortunately, I'm saved on the cloud, so I was able to pick up. Who the fuck is this PPG? I'm not on Kick. Evan, don't even bother. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, trust me. You'll thank us for not you'll thank us for, selling you on the idea of not going to visit him. You don't even have to hang out here. You can hang out wherever you want. Just don't give that guy any fucking views.
And so to all of you who have, you watch my content all day, every day, or periodically, I've explained this. War does not look like a movie. It is not men in uniforms marching.
Oh, there it was. There it was, Red.
On the battlefront towards each other. You want to know what war looks like? You walk out and you go downtown to go shopping. And you're on Main Street. And there's restaurants and shops all around you. And that's it. And then there's a bang, 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 bang. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know who's doing it. And you fall down. After a little while, people get up. They start fleeing the area. That's it. What happened? We don't know. That kind of thing happens every day when you are in a war. War it is not like this moment where two parties meet together and say, all right, gentlemen, is this the beginning of war? Oh, so be it. There's videos out of Syria during the Civil War. And
There
probably
it
still to
is.
this day.
There it is.
Where people are walking past buildings riddled with bullet holes to go buy groceries. When does it become civil war? Honestly, I have no idea. But they just assassinated Charlie Kirk. I got a call from a friend who they said to me, when they went for Trump, it was different. We know it was serious and we were scared. But now they killed our friend. They killed our friend. And he's not signing laws. He's not a judge. He's not a member of Congress. You don't want war. I don't want war. I want it all to stop. I want Charlie to have been able to have just sat there and talked to people like he always did. For you to do the same, for me to do the same. So let me just give you the details on what we're doing right now. We've had public events planned. My team's saying absolutely not. We can't secure them. And we've known that risk the whole time, and I've talked about it the whole time. Charlie was 100 times bigger than me. We have an event set up in 1 month at a university, canceled. We are right now finalizing public venue events. I can't do it. I'm going to be honest, I can't do it. I had people ask me, you can't let them win and shut these things down by doing this. That's true. You can't. But there's also just, if you can't secure it, what do we do? So it's tough. There's two trains of thought on this one. Because I debated it. I said, let's see where this goes. Maybe it, I don't know. Some told me, you absolutely cannot cancel events because of this. This is their goal. It's what they want. I agree completely, 100%. Bring it on. I'm not going to back down. The response to which is, you do a show every single night. You do multiple segments in the morning and a live show at noon that is secure and safe and reaches millions of people every single day. Do not throw that away so that you can go stand in public and say the same thing. I don't know. What does this mean for everybody? It was Trump last year more than once. Now it's Charlie. I just, reality just hasn't sunk in. I got to be honest. I just don't believe it. It's Ezra Klein has a tweet. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. He says, in the last few years, we've seen the plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, the storming of the Capitol and pipe bombs left at the RNC and DNC, the break-in to kidnap Nancy Pelosi and the brutal attack on Paul Pelosi, multiple assassination attempts against Trump, the assassination of Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, and the shooting of State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, Luigi Mangiarone's assassination of Brian Thompson, and the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Political violence is contagious. It is spreading. It is not confined to one side or belief system. It should terrify us all. The foundation of a free society is the ability to participate in it without fear of violence. Political violence is always an attack against us. You have to be so blind not to see that. And he's right. I know that for us, we can sit here and talk about the nitty-gritty of the Gretchen Whitmer case or the Pelosi thing. I'm not going to.
I'm kind of
I understand the point
I'm kind
he's
of just
making.
gaming right now.
But I'm going to say it. Charlie Kirk's everything he built, it is a skyscraper. It is a castle before us with the foundation of, talk to me. They said no. On Blue Sky, they are celebrating. They are posting videos on TikTok, Blue Sky and X, celebrating because Charlie said, talk to me. Ezra's not wrong. Ezra's not wrong. Let's grab some more. Mad Lib says this will be the turning point in the USA. I see what you did there, buddy, and I don't disagree. Charlie was a good man. I don't want to say the word was. I want to say this again. I'm an asshole a lot. When I do business, I have a short fuse. I have had business calls where they...
I mean, it's good, but right now I'm in that post, what was his name, Jackie? I'm in the post-Jackie arc. So I did that whole mission when we go and get the shit from that Japanese dude's apartment, and fucking, he didn't survive that. And, yeah, it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. I was like, dude, because it's so early in the game. I was like, man, I thought this guy was going to be around for a while. And now I'm in that phase where, like, that random Keanu Reeves guy pops up every fucking 5 minutes and talks to me. So I'm just, like, doing, like, random missions for now. Kind of just enjoying that I have access to more of the city, so kind of riding around doing stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean, I'm loving it. It's great. It's a really good game. Still wish I had some, more access to some of these internal structures, but it's, like you can't have everything. I know that there's a lot more to explore anyway, so I'm not gonna run out of things to be interested in, but there's like so many buildings and rooms and structures that I see where I'm like, why can't I go in there? That looks like such a cool place to go inside.
try and play this game of negotiating this, that, or otherwise, and I am just a dick. And I can tell you a lot of people who do business with me, they're probably like, if Tim says one, he means one. It's over. So I've had business meetings where people try to pull fast one, slip a contract through, and the contract's got hidden clauses. I go nuclear. I had one business arrangement. We never did a deal. A syndication thing, distribution and ad sales. And they tried claiming ownership in a tiny little clause at the bottom. I had one contract where it said, in one provision, it also said, see addendum D. And I read it and I said, where's addendum D? And they said, oh, we'll send it to you. Addendum D had a whole bunch of BS to rip me off. Then there's Charlie Kirk, who's like, we're gonna take care of you. We're gonna get you whatever you need. We're gonna take care of your team. We're gonna have you on stage. Don't worry a thing about it. I didn't have to work any weird deals. Phone call. Charlie personally tells me, we got you, appreciate everything you do. I'm like, wow, this is I've never felt. I show up to Turning Point, and they've got these big screens with my face all over it, and I'm like, well, this is great. I didn't even give Charlie anything. I've had so many people try to take from me. Then there's Charlie, who gave everything without asking. We went to Arizona, and you guys might remember this. We did our show in his studio, Charlie's studio. I said, we're gonna have to find a way to do a studio. He goes, take my studio, brother, it's yours. For real? He's like, we'll set you up, everything you want. We'll even get a production crew for you. I was like, whoa, really? He's like, you can use my studio, it's all yours. I was like, okay, cool. Wow. It's kind of wild because I never felt more famous. I'm like being treated like a king by this guy. What did I do? Everybody else says, it's gonna be 10 grand for this, 3 grand for that. And we usually say, okay, we're like, we get it. We do a show and it's like, we're gonna get a stage set up for you. We'll help you find it, but here's the cost. And that's okay. Charlie was like, we got a studio you can use. He built us a studio. He let us use his personal studio. When we had Kyle Rittenhouse on, they built us a temporary studio. They gave us a half moon table with big screens behind us. They set it up in their office, said, this is for you. We're gonna get you access. We'll have someone on staff for you. I'd have to give him anything. And that's why he's a legend, so successful, because he worked really, really hard. He built and built and built. And that's why this one is just, Trump's strong. Trump's great. When they tried taking his life, I was pissed. It's shocking. Charlie was my friend. All right, let's see if we got any more tweets circulating just to get the latest updates. And we're going to be live at 8 p.m. for Timcast IRL with more updates, of course. Yeah. It's kind of wild that we're coming off of, we're still in this news cycle of the assassination, the killing of Irina Zarutska. And Charlie had just spoken out against it. And is that it? Charlie had a tweet with like, I don't know, millions upon millions of views where he was saying like, just the other day, Van Jones called Charlie a race monger. In the George Floyd killing, there's no indication of a race-based motivation. By all means, you're entitled to your opinion that it was, but it was a police stop. Chauvin shut up after Floyd was already detained. And they told us for years it was racist, white supremacist, and there were riots over
PPG.
This woman is killed in a
I'm
train.
so annoyed that I can't find him.
And Charlie says, why won't they cover this? Because it doesn't fit their narrative.
On Kick, his name is Political Understander. One word. Literally just Political Understander. So, you'll see. You'll see the fucking shit show we're talking about.
But if the races were inverted, you know there would be national outrage. He's correct. Van Jones says he's a race monger. A race hatred monger. There's videos. That's just... I was sitting down to eat. And... This is the middle of the story, and we don't know exactly what's going on. And I'd been getting phone calls, and I was told that Charlie was stable. I got a call from a friend who says, "There's no way he's gonna make it." And no, bro.
I see you found him, yeah, exactly. Wait till you see his chat too. Wait till you get to know some of the people in that fucking chat, dude. That's. I mean, does anybody watch that guy unironically? I don't even think the people that are his regulars, you know, like watch him unironically. I think that they all still think he's a joke, but they just need some kind of like, I don't know, leftist, you know, streamer point of view to kind of just latch onto. I mean, all they do is make fun of him. And his politics. You know, his chat literally just sits there and calls him a liberal and makes fun of his takes. I don't think anybody actually likes him. Except Halibel. Halibel, I think, is the only person that actually does like him for some reason. I have no clue why.
There's no... Look.
Alright, let's check out the... I want to see the Hassan reaction.
Charlie Kirk just got shot at UVU, unconfirmed, but it looks like what just happened. Okay, first of all, you literally are a New York Times photojournalist. Please don't do this, okay? This doesn't mean Charlie Kirk got shot, okay? This just means shots fired at the Charlie Kirk UVU event. That's a crazy leap. We don't know what happened. Please, don't come in here with breaking news like this, guys. We will get there. Look at his page. Make Utah great again. What? Who is this guy? He said Charlie Kirk was shot. That's crazy. If that's the case... If that was the case,
it was amusing until it got sad. Yeah, you talking about PPG, I imagine. I used to enjoy being in PPG streams. I used to enjoy talking to PPG, but, you know, obviously that took a turn for the fucking... toward the dark side there. Hold up, I will not play my entry music today. It's all good. You can play the sound alerts.
Video footage of it, I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is not... It's Utah. It's not that backwards, okay? There's other accounts. None of them are journalists saying Charlie Kirk got shot. Okay, find me a video of the incident and I'll... Okay, that's not a video of the incident. That's just people saying Charlie Kirk has been killed in Provo, Utah.
Be right back. I'm gonna grab a beer.
What the fuck? Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Please stop. Does this mean your debate is canceled? Yes. That would mean the debate is canceled. If he got shot in the neck. What the f... What's happening? Mike Lee, I am tracking the situation at Utah Valley University closely. Please join me in praying for Charlie Kirk and the students gathered there. How is it shots fired at Charlie Kirk event at Utah Valley University? Shots have been fired at Charlie Kirk event at Utah Valley University. Footage from the scene showed event goers screaming as shots rang out on Wednesday. People at the event took to social media to share details of the moment someone opened fire at the conservatives event. Kirk published a post on X just minutes before reports of the shooting emerged. How is there no footage of this? What is going on? Okay, there's a live stream. Did this live stream show the shots being fired? Why do you want to see your political opponent get shot so badly? What? Bro, what will it take for you to believe? Wait, first of all, these two things are at odds with one another. It's my job to make sure that I get this breaking news story correctly. That's number one. And number two, what a stupid ass joke to make, dude. I have to confirm it. I can't just like go along with hearsay. These things are incredibly like there are so many cameras on these sorts of things. What the are you talking about? Charlie Kirk goes to a college campus. There's going to be a lot of phone cameras out. Okay? Around 60 minutes on that Twitter live link. It doesn't show anything, right?
They still should not be mass murdered. Children shouldn't be killed at the age of 0. We also don't condone Hamas either. We don't think that's all right. We're not supporting terrorism.
Say that one more time, real quick.
We also don't condone Hamas. We think that genocide people have a right to live.
And that's kind of back to the...
Oh,
You're gonna go down and see the... Get closer, or are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
It's too crowded. It's just, there's just so much. Before we had a flag and we had it, so it was
Holy shit!
okay, so then it cuts. The live stream literally cuts. The live stream just cuts from that interview to people just going holy shit and running around. Also, if Charlie Kirk was shot, it'd be an incredible amount of annoying political leverage for Christian conservatives to blame the left for mass shootings. Shots 9-10.
Yeah, just drinking, going to the bathroom to snort, and coming back. And blaming the bystanders in the Trump shooting for getting killed. Yeah. I don't know if he does snort, though. Because, like, the thing is, I spent a lot of fucking time around cokeheads, man. Just living in Miami for 30 years, working in a strip club for 4 of those years. You get to, like, really understand all the nuances of the behavior, but, you know, the mechanics and behaviors of people who are on coke, whether it be casually or habitually. And I don't really see it with him. Like, maybe he does it like when he's out and about at the casino or something, but I don't know that he does it like in his room, you know, or in his bathroom, you know, because he just doesn't exhibit the same kind of things that I've seen. And I've seen a lot of fucking cocaine use over the years, so I don't know if he does, but I think he's the kind of guy that goes to like the worst bar. He pretty much admitted it. Did he? Oh, okay. Well, maybe he did, or maybe he was just saying it to be cool. But like, he's the kind of guy that goes to the worst, grossest bar at 6 in the morning after, you know, 2 cases of Bud Light and dropping $500 at the casino, and he'll hang out at the grossest, fucking seediest, nasty fucking bar at like 6 in the morning. He'll put like $5 in the jukebox. And he'll just have, like, random conversations with strangers at that bar. He'll go into the bathroom with people he doesn't even know and do blow in there in the same bathroom stall. You know, he's just that kind of guy. But you know, every time I've ever seen him or talked to him, like, it just doesn't seem like he's doing it at home. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. What are your thoughts? I missed it. I haven't really given any thoughts. I mean, it's just, I think it's sad, you know. I don't think anybody should die over their political opinions. I don't, you know, the guy had, you know, kids and a wife. That was, I mean, you know, I was watching coverage of it all day. I was doom scrolling through social media, just watching all these leftists have a fucking field day. All the leftists were jumping for joy, posting memes. It was as if like we won World War II again with what I saw from leftist social media today. But when you see like videos of like him with his kids, just like, you know, walking around town getting ice cream and buying toys for his daughters and stuff like that, it's just not right, man. And I don't care how fucking normie that makes me sound, but yeah, I mean, I think it's not. I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's good. I think it's bad. I think it's bad what happened today, so. He was moderate Republican. He wasn't too radical. Yeah, he caught a lot of shit. He caught a lot of shit for, you know, in terms of, you know, being on the right. I'm pretty sure, like, he let gay people work at Turning Point, and, like, you know, in terms of, you know, being right-wing, he was pretty progressive. You know, there are way further right-wing people out there than Charlie Kirk, but you wouldn't have thought it with the way social media was today. So, but yeah, no, not good. Didn't like it. Hated it. and hated scrolling through social media today, just looking at all these fucking pages, like just jumping for joy. It was like this. It was like the Luigi effect, you know, the Luigi effect. The what was that submarine that fucking exploded by the Titanic with the billionaires? You know, that kind of thing. Just jumping for joy. So happy and excited, you know. Oh. Trump's friend, do you think he will do anything? I mean, I don't think he needs to do anything. I mean, he has the FBI is going to be on it anyway. I'm sure that you know, if there's one federal crime to be had with that incident, then, you know, I don't know what else he could do except put the FBI on him. You literally have the weight of the FBI on you looking for you. You know, I don't know if there's anything special he can do except sick Kash Patel on him. Do the polygamists even care about left or right? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. XN's got a theory that Charlie Kirk pissed off the Utah polygamist sect, which is a prominent sect over there because there's a lot of Mormons and shit, but and they're fucking crazy. They're definitely crazy enough to do something like this. So I honestly didn't even consider that as a thing at all until XN brought it up, and I'm like, nah, you know what? XN actually might be right about that one. that Utah polygamist theory, like, it's either some fucking lunatic. Well, I mean, I think it goes without saying that if the Utah polygamist theory would involve a right-wing nut job anyway. So it's either a polygamous right-wing nut job, a non-polygamous right-wing nut job, or like some leftist shooter, you know. Best take on the web, yeah. Look at PPG, then I look at Charlie. Oh my god. It was a Mormon who killed John Lennon. Oh, interesting. Just this one guy, like this exact same thing happened to Trump. Forgot about that. Today Republicans tried to do a moment of silence in Congress, and the Democrats were hooting and hollering, and these people have been calling everyone a fascist, and that is stochastic terrorism, isn't it? It could be. First of all, I take issue with you, Mr. German man, saying things like hootin' and hollerin', okay? Hootin' and hollerin' is strictly an American phrase, okay? That was the most American thing I think I've ever heard you fucking say. Hootin' and hollerin'. I did not expect that from a German. Saw a session with Gad Newscomb? Yeah. Yeah. Gets clowned on when he's outside of university. The Oxford video and the Jubilee. I mean, whatever, you know, like, you know, his politics are his politics, you know. I respect the fact that he's at least, you know, as gooperish as he was sometimes. And as much as people clowned on him, he still fucking didn't care. And he turned Turning Point into a little mini empire. In terms of, you know, academic outreach and stuff like that, student outreach. Like who on the left is doing anything remotely close to like what he did with Turning Point? There is nobody on the left. There's one fucking tour on the left called the Unfuck America Tour, and they can't even get past a couple microaggressions. You think they're ever gonna get anywhere near Charlie Kirk status? No fucking way, bro. The concession of the last one, if everything is the beginning of something. We'll see. I mean, the thing is, like, it was either a one-off thing or it wasn't, you know? I mean, like, for example, you know, XN's theory about the Utah polygamist, I would assume that would be a one-off, kind of thing, because I don't know too many people, you know, bitching about fucking Utah polygamy. So, and Charlie Kirk did have some shit to say about that, so if the Utah polygamist theory is correct, then it could be one-off. If it's not the Utah polygamist, then, you know, there might be, I mean, Tim Pool, we were just watching Tim Pool. He said he's canceling all his events. I don't think anybody's going to be, speaking in public for a while. And I think the first person that does is going to fucking come across some major political capital, being, you know, brave enough, quote unquote, to to step out there and be like, you know what, I don't even care anymore. I just need to fucking say what I gotta say, and I don't care if there's somebody out there that's gonna harm me. I'm sure Charlie would clown on Evan all day. Say the counterpart is Destiny. Oh no, please protect Destiny. Somehow hate centrists more than right wingers, and I don't know how or why. Well, I mean, according to leftists, centrists are right wingers, right? Fuck, Bernie Sanders is a right winger according to leftists. So you know, I don't even know what to think about anything on the spectrum anymore. Yeah. Overton window, European standards, blah, 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 blah. Okay. The moment I heard AOC and Bernie Sanders are fucking right wing, I was like, okay, well, I don't know anything anymore. I don't know what, like, up is down, left is right, you know, black is white. I don't even know. I don't even know what's true anymore. What's up, Vulin? How you doing? I've always been a big fan. I myself am a big fan of Trump. Okay. Well, welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm streaming unusually early today, only because I plan on actually getting a decent amount of sleep today. I was up all night last night, fucking monitoring this fucking shit we moved to production, and of course it broke at some point, so I was up all night trying to fix it, and then I finally did, and then I just didn't get any sleep, so I plan on getting some sleep today. Doing great. Good. I'd say they're left of center for sure. Yeah. But, I mean, you talk to some people, and some people will tell you that Bernie Sanders is fucking right wing, so. It's 2025, man. I somehow hate people who don't know why they hate. Yeah. All right, let's see what Hassan had to say. He was supposed to debate him. In like a couple weeks, right?
Minutes ago at the YouTube video. Wait, he was doing a YouTube video as well? Oh no, this is another person. Okay. This is just a random.
Holy shit, Charlie. I don't know who's been shot. One more time.
We also don't condone
this is the same
Hamas.
one,
We
yeah.
think that people have a right to live. And
Why does
that's
it
kind of back
skip?
to like the loved one.
Why live stream skip right as the shooting happens? Look. Like, oh no, this one doesn't.
It's just there's just so much. So before we had a flag and we.
No way, dude. Deseret is reporting he was shot. Okay, Deseret News now reporting Charlie Kirk shot at Utah event. Charlie Kirk, this is a breaking news story will be updated. Charlie Kirk was shot at an event at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah on Wednesday. Bystanders report seeing Kirk shot. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God. Bystanders report seeing Kirk shot near his neck during a Q&A with students. What is happening, brother? What the is happening? Dean Withers, Charlie Kirk was reportedly shot in the neck. Why would Dean know? Was he there? Did he attend this event? I know he like tries to go to Charlie Kirk events to try to debate him. Bandwidth over mobile and the frame size suddenly increases due to movement. That's why the live stream cuts when everyone starts to run. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I don't know. Like, I can't see from this angle. Whether,
You guys okay?
I assume this is the tent where Charlie Kirk is, right? Like, this is the tent where he is, right? Minute 1814. Guy says the security said that. And there are people with guns. Check for the live chat. Found the video of him being shot. There is 0% chance. There is 0% chance that if this happened and Charlie Kirk got shot, that someone doesn't have the footage. Benny Johnson and Candace Owens and everyone is saying, like, pray right now for Charlie Kirk. Pray right now. Pray with everything you have. Get down on your knees and pray. Please, I confirm that Charlie's been wounded at an event in Utah. Please, Jesus, help us now. A journalist is reporting on this. Deseret News and KSL are gathering as much info as we can. A witness told our newsroom that they heard a blast like a firecracker while Charlie Kirk was answering a question, creating panic at UVU. So is it actually a moment of panic and that there's like misinformation flying around, or did he actually get shot? I don't understand. Because like this is the photo that this guy poses.
It was only Charlie shot? Yeah, it was only Charlie.
Charlie Kirk breaking. Charlie Kirk shot in the neck. Oh, you found the video? Oh, hold on. I'm going to look at the video right now. I told you there's got to be a video. Wait. All right. Oh my God. Holy. Oh. Dude, you hear a shot, you hear the crack of a shot, and then you hear his head just crack back right after. And I I think I think what the people are saying is correct. That he might have been shot in the neck. Oh my God. Okay. Holy fuck, dude. Charlie Kirk is, as far as I've seen, Charlie Kirk has been shot at an event at UVU in Utah. What the What? But I don't know if it's the neck though, because the moment of impact, I see, like, on the moment of impact, you see his t-shirt go like this. And I don't know if that's because of the, like, you see him recoil and his head rocks back, but I don't know if it was actually him in the neck. I think it was in the chest, because the area of impact that you see, is on the shirt. Like, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking right at the video. It's in his neck. Blood comes pouring out. Oh, second photo. Look at his neck. Oh, yeah. Wait, how did he? Unconfirmed reports right now of it's coming from his neck if you pause for 4 seconds. Was it point blank or from afar? I have no idea. Disavow quickly and vehemently for your own safety.
Show you the social media? No, you can find it. I looked through it all day, Conrad. I looked through it all day. It was fucking depressing, man. I don't want to look at it anymore. I really don't. It's fucking depressing, dude. Just turn it on. You'll see it. It's there, dude. It was really depressing, though. I don't feel like going through all that shit again. Cast Casey if he comes on. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody probably had to stream. That was another reason. I wasn't going to stream, but I figured I could pop on for a little bit and see how everybody's doing, what everybody thinks about it. My feed's different. Yeah. No, the thing is, like, it depends on the platform. On Instagram, I do have a lot of politics on there, but I also have, like, a lot of food and a lot of Japanese chicks and golf and guitars and stuff like that. So it's a mixed bag over there. But, like, most of my stuff that I see on, like, Facebook or something is all leftist stuff. Just because I do find the leftist worldview kind of fascinating. So, I mean, you just scroll on Facebook and it's just literally the worst fucking garbage ever. I don't have a Facebook. Yeah, well, I'm a boomer, so I still got it. I don't use it anymore. I stopped posting on it years ago, but I still have my account. I think for, like, you know, when you work in the corporate world, I think it's important to have some kind of presence on social media so they don't think you're a total fucking weirdo, because HR definitely goes and hunts that kind of stuff down. So I keep mine up. You know, I know they're going to search for it anyway, so I just keep it up. And it's just a bunch of old posts of, like, pictures of me, like, when I was in the army, or, you know, eating out at a restaurant or something like that. I took all the political shit down, you know, years ago. Facebook for boomers? Yeah, I'll be 43 this year, so I'm well into boomer territory. I'm an 80s baby. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, look, it's all there. You go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, you'll see it. It's all there. What if HR comes to Twitch? I think I'll do all right on Twitch. Because none of my VODs, I think I only have, like, a few VODs up. So, like, it's nothing crazy. I think I only have, like, a couple VODs on my channel. So I'm not too worried about that. HR? Yeah, human resources. Human rights, yeah, exactly. How would that even work? How would what work? If HR, like, checked my social media? They just do that kind of stuff anyway. I mean, you know, if I go in for a job interview, they're going to know my full name. So when I exit the interview after answering questions, they're going to do their research. You know, they're going to go over there and just type my name into Facebook and just see what comes up, you know. Twitch HR? Twitch HR. Well, Twitch HR is run by people who think they're a fucking deer, so I'm not too concerned about Twitch HR. Actually, maybe I should be more concerned about Twitch HR than my own HR. I think there'd be more. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think we're in that kind of time right now. Yeah, what's up, Hex? How you doing? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think there will be. I'm just curious if there's gonna be like some kind of inevitable right-wing kind of red wave backlash. Someone like Mondani or a different right-wing influencer? Oh god. Oh my god. All right, let's keep going.
Dude, what do you mean? Of course, I don't think you guys understand. I was supposed to debate him in a public setting like a month from now. Obviously, like even aside from the principle of it all, yeah, no shit. It's also for my own personal safety as well. I'm also, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm also a public figure who does political commentary, who was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk in a public setting at Dartmouth University a month from now. I assume it's not going to happen now. Obviously. UVU, I go to UVU and I got this emergency message. UVU alert. A single shot was fired on campus towards a visiting speaker. Police are investigating now. Suspect in custody. Yeah, that debate is canceled. Yeah. I don't think that debate is happening any longer, chatters. What the Stop going to public events, bro, for real. Bro, stop cancel your public events. Hogs are gonna want revenge. What do you mean? Supposedly that I'm gonna guess there has to be Hasanabe heads that were there. Can they report it? There's some Hasanabe heads here, but yes, the Dartmouth debate was supposed to happen in 15 days from now. I was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk in 15 days at Dartmouth University. But obviously that's not going to happen any longer, I suspect. Here's footage of the man that allegedly shot Charlie Kirk. That's what they're suspecting. That's what it seems like. Like an old dude. You know what's going to be safest for you, but I think chatters are saying that hogs don't think straight and will want revenge against you for some reason. People just wanting you to be careful. Revenge isn't another commentator, not that you had anything to do with it in particular. Stay safe. Yes, no, I understand that. Yes, chatters, Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck. I watched it. I watched a video. It looks it's just, he gets shot. There's only one footage that we've seen, one piece of footage that we've seen so far. It's this one where you briefly see it and the camera moves, the camera pans away right after he gets shot. But there is a screenshot from the photo where there's a screenshot from the footage that shows that there's like blood coming out of his neck. I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything beyond that. This is the most insane situation. We have no additional evidence or no news beyond the fact that the police have already said that it was a single shot that was fired at UVU. Police said there's a worse clip on Twitter from the front row. Send that to me as well. But my point is, he gets shot, and he gets shot in the neck. And the campus police statement on it was a single shot fired against event speaker, and the shooter has been, the suspect has been apprehended. So that leads me to believe that most likely the guy that shot him was probably the old guy, because he is the guy that has been apprehended. Candace Owen says, everyone, please stop what you're doing and pray for Charlie Kirk, please. There is a close-up. There is a closer footage of Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck here as well, where you can oh, he's dead. Oh my God, he's definitely dead. Oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, he definitely got shot in the neck. Oh my God. Oh. Oh yeah. No, that footage, that you do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. That footage, the close-up footage shows very clearly immediately blood pouring out of his jugular. He gets shot in the neck, blood pouring out of his jugular, like an unimaginable amount of blood pouring out of his jugular. There is very, very little chance that he survived that. I don't know. I don't know if he did, but it doesn't seem like it. Oh my God. That was fucking devastating. Holy sh- I don't know what to say. Oh my Lord. Oh Jesus Christ. Holy America is so absolutely. Fox News is covering it now.
He had posted images of himself before this huge crowd at Utah Valley University there outside of Provo, and he said, we're so back. You could see there was enthusiasm. He was passing hats around. You can watch him on video. This was posted half an hour ago of him doing that and greeting this crowd. He is somebody that the Trump campaign, as Kristen was noting, utilized very effectively to harness his leadership in this conservative activist movement, again, with young people, young men specifically. We've talked about this a lot when we look back. Charlie Kirk is at the heart of that effort. They relied on him and his organization a lot for their ground game in a lot of the states around the country. And so this is somebody who obviously has a huge voice inside conservative American politics, a big Trump supporter, but obviously now in this really unfortunate, horrific experience is going to be at the center of a conversation about political violence, I would imagine, that we're going to be having in the aftermath of this horrific event.
Oh, certainly. And there's a lot of reason to be concerned right now, as we do not know his status. We don't know how he's doing, and we're awaiting word certainly of that. As you mentioned, it says a lot about where we are as a nation when it comes to violence and politics. Can you talk a little bit about what he was doing in Utah? He was going to universities to speak to young people.
Yeah, and organizing them. And again, that's why I was literally, you can just bring it up from his Twitter page a little while ago. You can see
what happened
it's
to
not
him?
Just like sometimes.
Charlie Kirk was doing an event, one of the classic events that he does, like a Change My Mind style event at Utah, at a campus on Utah, at UVU campus. He was sitting under a tent. One shot rings out, and immediately his jugular opens up, and blood is just pouring out of his neck. I saw it. I'm confirming it. I'm telling you right now, there is a very, very low likelihood of survival beyond that point. I mean, I don't know what's happened. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. The reason why I say it was most likely his jugular is because I've never seen so much blood pour out of someone's neck in real time, in like a moment's notice before. It just completely gushes out. Do not watch the video. If you have not seen the video, do not, like, the reason why I watched it is because I wanted to see, the reason why I watched it is because I had to confirm whether or not this was a real incident. I'm telling you, avoid it. It is one of the most things you could possibly see. There is one video that was shot from afar that basically shows you his head cracking back after you hear the shots after you hear the one shot fired, and then the camera pans away. There is another video from inside of the crowd, a closer up video that is circulating online right now, where you literally see, where you just straight up see his jugular gush out after the moment of impact. That second video, the close up video, is from like 15 feet away. And I mean, look, I cover Israel genocide every day. I see charred children. I see children carrying their dead parents in trash bags to the hospital every day. It still is a little different, at least from my perspective, I think, because this is a person who does what I do, but on the opposing side. I was supposed to debate him at Dartmouth University 15 days from now in a public event, in a public setting. I go out to public settings like this all the time. So there's a level of closeness in that regard because of the nature of what I do. I mean, look, I have a policy of not living in fear. And but we'll see. I might have to reconfigure certain things. This is insane. I never thought I would see something like this.
Was it a rifle? Was it a handgun?
But I guess if there's one country where something like this could happen, it's this one.
It's also notable that he hosts, as part of many of the events that he has, these debates with folks that come, college students and others who come as part of a crowd, and he hosts debates with them at close proximity. We don't know that that's exactly what happened here, but it is notable given what you were just describing, Chief Ramsey, as the setting for these events. We also have a statement put out by California Governor Gavin Newsom now, who interviewed Kirk on his podcast back in March of this year. He says the attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible. In the United States of America, we must reject political violence in every form. Let's go back to the White House now and Kristen Holmes, because it's notable, as we just said, he's been interviewed by Democrats and Republicans. The weight that he carries and his voice within the conservative movement, especially among young people, he's someone who at times has had the president's ear as well.
Not just had the president's ear at times. I mean, he is incredibly close with President Trump. They speak directly. He also is close with high-level members of the administration. You see the vice president tweeting there. He knows and speaks to Charlie Kirk. If you are talking to people within the administration, they will tell you that Kirk is somebody who has the finger on the pulse of the MAGA movement in a way that sometimes even the people in Washington do not. He has been such a force for President Trump, somebody that they relied on. At times there was even floated that he might join the administration, and I was told during the transition that they actually believed that he was more powerful not being part of the administration because of the following that he has, because of this unique ability he has to reach these specific young voters. And one of the stories we did on the campaign was how exactly they were doing this. And this was by reaching out to people who hadn't voted before, bringing them into the MAGA movement and getting them to vote for President Trump. So it's not just as though this is an ally of the president's. It's somebody who, again, has this enormous following and that the president pays attention to, who he's close to, who he listens to. We can recall that there have been issues that Charlie Kirk has brought to the president's attention that people in the base were upset about. This is something we've reported on extensively. So this is, again, I just think it's really important to note here, while he's not a government official, while he is not a member of the administration, he's essentially the closest thing you could get to that position without actually being in the government. He's influential in Washington, he's influential in the Republican Party, and he's certainly influential with President Trump and influential.
This is part of the reason why I don't make a big public show of a lot of the public events that I'm attending ahead of time until it's happening in real time, I'm like, this is obviously always a fear, especially in the United States of America. There is not, I mean, I don't know what to say, dude. I don't know what to say other than America is an incredibly violent country, and it's getting even more violent every day. It's one of the most insane. This is one of the most insane things I've seen. Is he dead? From what I saw, look, there's no confirmation yet. But I saw the close-up video to confirm the veracity of the reporting. And let me tell you, in the absence of like immediate, super significant medical intervention, I don't know how he survives that. Because, yeah, I will just say the up close video, the closer video that is being circulated around online now,
No, not yet.
basically shows
Not yet. I still gotta reseat the SSD, so I haven't had time. I was just telling them about something I moved into production yesterday that I had to monitor overnight. So I haven't had any sleep basically today. But that's why I'm streaming this early, because I just wanted to kind of like get on and talk about this for a little bit and then have a normal night of sleep. I say normal, it's already 1:30 here, so I'll probably watch a little bit of this Hassan stuff and call it a night. But we're close. We're close. Blessed with Lego stream. Yeah, what's up, Annika? See what our boy Hassan has got to say about it.
It's right in the neck, and the amount of blood that gushes out of his neck in that moment in real time implies that there is very, very low likelihood of survival. Like, that's not, I think if your jugular was cut like that, I assume I don't know. I don't know how you, I mean, he's been hospitalized, so I guess he is alive. Like, according to Fox News, he's been hospitalized. I don't know how he survives that. I don't know how he did, but if he's actually at the hospital, that means, there has been medical intervention. He's not dead. Kirk has been scheduled to appear at Utah Valley University on Wednesday as a part of the American Comeback Tour. I was supposed to debate him in 2 weeks at Dartmouth University. Look, there is I have a lot of opinions and a lot of feelings right now. One is that this is a person that I have known and have been that I've debated in public settings since 2016. I had 2 very public debates with him at Politicon, and I was supposed to do another in Dartmouth in 15 days. I obviously also do public events such as this one, as well as a political commentator on the opposing side. I mean, obviously this kind of violence is completely unacceptable, and I'm just letting you guys know. Obviously, I have in the way that I'm looking at the situation, it's a little bit difficult for me not to feel heavily biased. You a leftist for the fashion. There's an 87 to 90% chance of surviving a gunshot wound to the neck if no major arteries were destroyed. So chances of him surviving are quite high. There was a local news live stream.
Protesters up above him and to his right, not in the area that the shot came from. And they would say things and boo here and there, but overall it seemed very supportive of what was going on.
And with the tiers, the levels, when events are held out here, obviously this was a big crowd, but are they typically occupying those balconies and those enclaves?
Look, I don't know if it was his jugular or not, but the amount of blood that I saw spurting out of his neck made me think that it was most likely his jugular.
Okay, well, we appreciate your
Like,
insight,
it is the most horrifying
so
thing
much
I've
for
ever
joining us
seen.
and jumping
Maybe
on. We are
made
getting
more
some
horrifying by the fact that I know him personally. I've known him for years and was supposed to debate him. I don't know, and like what he does for a living. It makes it like, that's why I'm saying I'm a little bit biased in this situation. Obviously, it's like very hard for me to see. It's very hard for me to see this as like anything but an immediate threat to anyone that does this. Guys, shut up. Stop saying take the day off and reorient yourself. Okay, calm down. I'm a 34-year-old man. Okay, shut up. Oh my God.
We understand there was
Stop
a
babying
speaker
me.
that had just gone out. Charlie Kirk hadn't even spoken yet. And so we're taking a look right now on your screen here. We're getting more video of Utah Valley University at this speaking event.
Bro, when people immediately go, hey, you have to hire security or whatever, you guys realize that he has the best security, right? You realize that, right? Like when you say, oh, Hassan, why don't you hire security when you do IRL streams? He has the best security. Trump confirmed he's dead. He had the security. There's nothing you can do when you get shot by a sniper rifle in the neck when you're doing a public event. You understand that, right? I don't think he has not been pronounced dead. He is in the the hospital right now. Okay, I don't know how he survives this. I have seen the video, the up close video that's circulating that they're not obviously showing here, and you shouldn't see it. I promise you, you don't need to see that. Okay, I don't know why chatters are lying in here, but he lost a tremendous amount of blood immediately in the moment of impact. The only thing that Trump has said so far, and this is from Dan Scavino's account, we must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot. A great guy from top to bottom. God bless. It's unimaginably graphic. I mean, this is, I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is just terrifying. Here's CNN's
rang
coverage.
out, and you can see a large crowd gathered there at this university in Utah. Folks running away from the scene. This is one of many videos circulating online right now that we are working to confirm. But as John was saying, I mean, the challenge of securing a wide open campus, what appears to be a courtyard there with a number of tents for officials, or rather for students and attendees to participate in the event. No shortage of issues trying to secure a place like that.
No, certainly not. And let's go to Donny O'Sullivan, who has been to a number of these events. He's joining us now on the phone. Donny, we just saw some of the aftermath in that video, people running away, an incredibly scary situation for so many people there. Talk to us a little bit about these events, the kind of security they do or do not have, and what it's like to be there.
Hey, Brianna. Yeah, I mean, I think what you're seeing on your screen now is really normally sums up what these events look like. I mean, minus the chaos, of course, but always very big turnout on college campuses. Charlie Kirk has been doing this for a number of years. His organization, Turning Point USA, has been running these kind of events, hundreds of them, potentially thousands of them, across universities, really mobilizing the young conservative vote, and in recent years, of course, specifically the young MAGA vote. We were actually down a few weeks ago in Tampa, Florida, where Turning Point USA had their summit, and we spoke to some liberal groups, young Democrats, who are actually trying to emulate the work Charlie Kirk's organization is doing. These Democrats were, of course, very critical of Kirk's policies and his views on politics, but spoke, frankly, very complimentary of his organizing tactics. So what you see at these events, these college campus events, has really been a successful model for mobilizing young voters. In fact, in just recent weeks...
Wait, gunman is not in custody, campus official says? So the guy that they arrested might not be the actual gunman? Because initially campus police said the gunman was in custody, that the suspected shooter was apprehended. Now, breaking news, Kirk shot and gunman not in custody, campus officials say. Scott Trotter, Senior Director of Public Relations at Utah Valley University in Orem, just confirmed to the BBC that Kirk was shot and that the attacker is not in custody. Trotter said at 12:25 local time, a single shot rang out in the quad near the food court at Utah Valley University Orem campus as Mr. Charlie Kirk began speaking at his planned rally. We confirm that Mr. Kirk was shot, but we don't know his condition, Trotter said. He added that the campus is closed for the rest of the day. There's a video of them arresting an old man, but maybe that's not, maybe that's not the shooter then. I don't know. I don't know what to I bet you they found no GPR on suspect at this point. Doubtful they'll find the shooter. I know Netanyahu tweeted about it as well. Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Chatters. There are different ways there are different ways beyond advocating for violent retribution.
What's up, Dolly?
When it comes to people like this, you guys are saying things right now that is completely ridiculous, okay? You're saying things without even assuming how it reflects on yourself, how it reflects on the left, how it reflects on people like myself, deliberately putting someone like myself in the crosshairs, in the line of fire. There's never going to be a moment where I will ever advocate for fucking political violence of this sort for understandable reasons. One, because it's abhorrent, and two, because, like, what are you talking about? I need you to understand something. This could have, if it didn't happen in Utah, it could have happened in Dartmouth. You get it, right? It can happen anytime I go out as well. If this is a real consideration. There's a real concern. We live in the United States of America where everyone has a gun. Even Charlie Kirk's own assessments about like, well, gun violence is a necessary byproduct of having freedom. It doesn't mean that, like, I know that our enemies, people in Charlie Kirk's audience, for example, would be celebrating if the same thing had happened to me. Okay?
No, they wouldn't.
But it doesn't matter. Like, be
No,
more
they wouldn't.
careful. If not for morality, be more careful
No,
in
they
terms of
fucking wouldn't, dude.
self-preservation.
That's
Because
crazy to
political
say.
violence happens no matter what, okay? And there will be violent retaliation as well. So just think, okay? Just think. The shot came straight at him, witness says. Former U.S.
No,
Congressman who was
not
at the
all of
event
them.
with his daughter has told Fox News what happened when Kirk was shot. Everyone hit the deck, scattered. Former U.S. Representative Jason Chaffetz says he calls the violence shocking. Now, of course, it is shocking, but I guess in some ways it's not that shocking at all, considering
would,
it's
some
the
wouldn't.
United States of America. That's something to consider here.
Some would, some wouldn't. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're right. You're right. You right. You right. What's up, Mopar?
So where we were, though, it's interesting. It's kind of like a stadium. So it was a big bowl. It was a big bowl. So Charlie normally his platforms is just sitting on the side of like the pavement, and everyone's at eye level with him. But with this, he was more down lower, and then everyone was around him in like this bowl. We saw videos of from other people who
What's up, Tony?
saw the aftermath and didn't run immediately out because we ran straight away. But it looked like it was an older gentleman wearing a uniform who was taken away put in custody pretty much right afterwards. He was the man in his 50s or 60s.
And just to be clear, Emma, you're saying that you saw that through a video because you ran off from the scene. You didn't actually see the man being taken into custody yourself?
We didn't, correct. We didn't actually see the man about 10 minutes ago, so almost 30 minutes after this all happened, I want to say. We found the people that we had originally interviewed with that were super happy to be there and excited, and they had recorded it, and so they were showing us from their phone. Right.
Okay, so you saw videos from people that you had actually talked to ahead of time who had recorded it themselves. What else did they tell you?
I mean, nothing really from any of them. I think everyone still here is so much shocked. The university's been completely evacuated, so the only people left in the building are people who witnessed it firsthand. We have heard reports that Charlie Kirk is stable and breathing. That was a couple of maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. But again,
Are they
it's not
really
confirmed.
reporting out
Yeah,
those Facebook? Okay, I can tell you things that I saw with my own two eyes with an absolute certainty. Right now, there's a lot of misinformation flying around. I myself have also shown you some of the things that people are suspecting that was going on. But one thing I can tell you with a certainty is that Charlie Kirk got shot. It was one in the video that is readily available that is circulated. There's two different videos, one from afar and one up close. Okay, both of the videos show that there was only one shot. Okay, both of the videos also show that he was shot in the neck, and he lost an unimaginable amount of blood. And immediately after the moment of impact, he got shot near the throat, and blood starts gushing out, like spraying, which is consistent with what is it, like a main artery, a piercing through a main artery. Okay, it is very, very unlikely to survive a shot such as that one. But there is no confirmation that he actually has. There's no confirmation. The girl on CNN said that his condition is stable. There's no confirmation that he has died. Okay, there's no confirmation on that whatsoever.
Political ideas that we're running. But there were only a couple of protesters who were there, and they were in the balcony. Yeah, and Charlie Kirk even made a point about it. He said, "Look up there. There wasn't that many. There was probably about 3 or 4 posters. There's one."
The event was out in the open. I assume that there wasn't like a lot of security on the campus in general. He could still survive. There's a very low likelihood he could still survive. I don't know what the chances of survival without any sort of like significant debilitating life-altering injuries. Initially, there were initial reports off campus police that stated that one shot was fired. The speaker at the event, Charlie Kirk, was shot at. and that the shooter, the suspect, was apprehended. There was a video that was circulating around of an old man. There was a video that was circulating around of an old man being apprehended by police. Now, according to BBC's latest reports, the gunman is not in custody, according to campus officials. So we don't know. We don't know if the suspect is at large. But the New York Times is now confirming that via school spokeswoman that the suspect is in custody. So I don't know if something changed in the last couple of minutes. Charlie Kirk, here's what to know. Updated 3 minutes ago. Charlie Kirk, the head of Turning Point USA, the nation's preeminent right-wing youth activist organization, was shot in the neck on Wednesday while speaking at a campus event at Utah Valley University. Cell phone videos posted online showed people running from the event after a gunshot rang out. One single gunshot. One video appeared to show Mr. Kirk's head jerking back as blood poured from his neck. He had been delivering remarks while sitting under a tent with the slogan, "The American Comeback," printed on it. A university spokeswoman, Ellen Trenor, said that Mr. Kirk was struck about 20 minutes after he began speaking on campus. She said a suspect had fired at Mr. Kirk from the Lucy Center, a building about 200 yards away, and had been taken into custody. The suspect was not a student, she said. Condition unknown. Ms. Trenor said Mr. Kirk's security had taken him away after the shooting, and she did not have any information on his condition. Andrew Colvette, a spokesman for TPUSA, confirmed that Mr. Kirk had been shot in the neck. President Trump posted on social media in support of Mr. Kirk. Benjamin Netanyahu posted, saying, "Pray for Charlie Kirk. We must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot," he wrote on Truth Social. "A great guy from top to bottom. God bless him." A close ally, Mr. Kirk, 31, has emerged in recent years as one of the most influential young right-wing figures in the country and established himself as a close ally to the president. Mr. Kirk co-founded Turning Point USA in 2012 and has since become a fixture on college campuses where he hosts rallies like the one in Utah that often draw large crowds. Even though he's not part of the administration, Mr. Kirk's influence in the White House is significant. Since the November election, he has helped vet prospective appointees, testing their loyalty to Mr. Trump. Okay? My own interactions with Charlie Kirk start around 2015, where I debated him at Politicon when he was an upstart, basically creating Turning Point USA as a entity that was specifically designed to manipulate college campus elections and student government elections in general in high schools and college campuses, heavily funded by Republican donor Foster Friess, who passed away. I debated him publicly twice at Politicon on two different occasions, and I was slated to debate him at Dartmouth 2 weeks from now. We were also supposed to have a public debate 2 weeks from now at Dartmouth University. I say we were supposed to. I don't think that's going to happen any longer.
Yeah, I saw that, XN. I saw that earlier.
Yes, I did see him at the DNC as well, but
that Twitter link you put there.
It's besides the point. That doesn't matter. But I have I have used Charlie Kirk as an example of like the way that the Republican media ecosystem works and how they prop up figureheads and how they bring in figureheads from the right directly into the horizontal and vertically integrated media infrastructure that the Republican Party uses, the propaganda outlets of the Republican Party uses, because Charlie Kirk and myself basically gained prominence in American politics on opposing sides at about the same time, and his career obviously has been explosive, and he has found himself not only in charge of this heavily funded organization, Turning Point USA, but also has become a close ally to the Trump administration twice now. Actually terrifying to see what political violence is turning up. Like how much political violence is happening in this country. It's an incredibly violent nation. America is an incredibly violent nation already. It is, everybody has a gun. This is a terrifying prospect in general. It's just, I mean, this is a terrifying incident for a million different reasons. I worry about the repercussions of this. I think that the reverberations of people seeking out vengeance in the aftermath of this violent, abhorrent incident is going to be genuinely worrisome. Of course, this is a country where children get slaughtered on a weekly basis by scooters. Like I said, violence and ultra violence in general is a very common thing that takes place in this country. But this is a attempted high profile political assassination on a political speaker. And it's I don't know. It's hard for me not to see a close parallel here and worry about where things may go from this point on. At this point, there is no hospital updates, but Gabby Giffords, the former Arizona congresswoman who nearly died in a 2011 assassination attempt, said she was horrified to hear that Kirk had been shot. Democratic societies will always have political disagreements, but we must never allow America to become a country that confronts those disagreements with violence, she said on social media. As I've said before, decentralized acts of violence from adventurists happen as a direct consequence of not having a real pressure valve when there is tremendous political instability. Okay? This is the reason why the democratic process is supposed to be a pressure valve for this sort of thing, in order to thwart these kinds of incredibly violent incidents. It's not like he was a senator or the president. He was a influencer. What is wrong with people? It doesn't matter. He was a close advisor to the president and a very visible, high profile advisor to the president. That is the reason why it's massive. It's very consequential, and a lot of people are talking about it.
Or including the buildings and other, open spaces. Because
also, Donald Trump literally sicked the entire. Donald Trump sicked the National Guard on DC because of big balls getting jumped by a 15-year-old teenager. One 15-year-old girl and one 15-year-old boy. What the do you think he's going to do after this when one of his top advisors, the guy that he has named numerous times as a creditor to his success with Gen Z voters, was shot in the neck in Utah
with the Anons, baby.
I don't even know where we go from this moment on.
He has to not celebrate.
I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what the administration is going to do. I just don't think that they're going to be normal about it. Okay, think about that. University says a suspect is in custody after Charlie Kirk was shot at an event. And one of the biggest fucking reactionary monsters out there is Elon Musk. And he's already started saying the left is the party of murder. We don't know the background or the profile of the shooter. We do know that statistically speaking, these sorts of political violent incidents do not actually often come from the left, but it is usually right-wingers, former Trump supporters themselves shooting at Trump, people who have voted for Trump shooting at Trump, or attempting to assassinate Trump. Obviously, and Utah is also a very right-wing state. We don't know. Of course, I'm not going to still debate him. What are you talking about? How am I supposed to debate him? We don't even know if he's alive. No, Chatter, stop asking me stupid questions. Come on, man. Abby D. Phillips says, the degree to which the algorithm on this platform is pushing video of the shooting is incredibly disturbing. There has to be some human that can turn the dial down in a situation like this. The human that would turn the dial down, I don't think is interested in turning the dial down. I think the person that would turn the dial down is turning it up, as a matter of fact. Cranking it up, okay? This is the 46th shooting at a school this year. Guys, don't link me AF Post. We don't know yet. AF Post is not giving a firm confirmation, okay? Just wait. Wait until there is a real news report, not from America First. I don't know how the do public events going forward. Like, I don't know. It's just not. Oh, there's another angle of the video as well. A third angle. Maybe he survives this. Who knows? Don't know. I don't know how. Turning Point USA confirms the shooting, says Kirk is in the hospital. Turning Point USA, the conservative youth organization founded by Charlie Kirk, confirmed in a statement to CNN that Kirk was shot during the organization's campus tour stop on Wednesday. This is an ongoing situation. We can confirm that Charlie Kirk has been shot. He's in the hospital and we're preparing for him at the time. Why won't anybody say that his condition is stable, dude? Like, I don't understand. Every single person just keeps saying he's in the hospital.
And, Turning Point USA, the group that he runs, is now confirming, quote, Kirk has been shot. He is in the hospital, and we are praying for him at this time. The prayers are so all consuming right now and bipartisan. Everyone from President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance to members of the cabinet to Democratic leaders like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. Bipartisan condemnation of this act of political violence. It's a reminder, Brianna, that in a country like America, in a democracy, we only have a democracy if we settle our disagreements with words, not with violence. You know, for the liberals, for the anti-Trump voices, for the anti-Kirk voices out there who feel despair, you know, about the direction of the country's politics, the way to address that is through words, not through violence. And so whenever we see one of these appalling crimes, it is disturbing because it cuts to the core of how the American democracy functions.
Yeah, certainly does.
Turning Points USA just released a statement to CNN confirming the shooting. They say this is an ongoing situation. Kirk is in the hospital, and we are praying for him at this time. David Chalian and Laura Coates are with us. And David, it's important to state again just the significance of Kirk in politics, and specifically his appeal to younger conservatives on college campuses, in large part has to do with his accessibility, his desire to get out in front of a crowd and debate.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to hold these two things simultaneously. When you're dealing with a story like this of just potentially horrific, just tragic political violence, unacceptable political violence in this country, the fact that he is a conservative star is central to that, right? We're talking about political violence. And yet, and I know this is maybe hard for like cable TV news viewers or political news consumers, everything gets so divided up and everybody, you know, we're in such a polarized time. So we also have to separate out the human tragedy that's happening right here and the fact that this person, that Charlie Kirk, has devoted his career. Again, I get that a lot of people watching right now may find his views abhorrent or maybe totally have worked against him politically. But the fact that he was the conservative star that he was, the fact that he was putting himself in the public spotlight to advance his beliefs and advance a movement seems to be at the very cause as to why he was shot today and why his family may be shattered. And again, we don't know his condition right now, and our prayers should be going his way and his family's way, and they are. But it's impossible in this moment that you don't want politics to be part of it at all. It is impossible to separate it because it is clearly, it seems from everything we know, this is going to be the centerpiece of a conversation about unacceptable political violence in this country and how this country can move from this moment forward to a place where that decreases or where that is less. I think that
That's a chat with Conrad and NOK. So you know that you always know that always makes for a good time. NOK plus Conrad. You know you're in for a good time.
They did take the old man away
to America right now.
I think it does, David.
Yeah, I don't know if it's real or not, but chatters are saying he was talking about mass shootings.
Oh, I forget.
Like he was answering a question about mass shootings when he got shot.
I forget. I don't remember. I got him a while ago. I want to say I got him from a mission. I want to say I got him from a mission, but I don't remember. But they come in handy when you have to go into places where you have to check your weapons. So you're automatically going in there with something.
Bro, I already got commenting in my chat, on my YouTube instantly. Like, look, this is what I mean, okay? This is what I mean. Like, that just happened. That's a YouTube notification from literally a minute ago. This is what I have to. I mean, I deal with this like literally every day of the week. I deal with this every day of the week. So it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit different from the way I'm watching the situation. Okay.
That is, you know, if anything could come out of this, if there's some kind of wake-up call that come out of this, I know I probably sound naive saying that, it would seem like we've got to find a way to be able to have politics in this country and differences of opinion that do not end like this.
You know, you think about the only way to break a law is if a law first exists, and this is going to open
recall that like not even a month ago there was a political commentator who said that they would justify down in the street. That wasn't even a month ago. That was a couple of weeks ago. So remember, America is an incredibly violent country. Everybody has guns, and political violence often comes from the right wing in general, even if it's like directed at the right. Okay, yeah. Look at this.
And also the community at large. This will be a very big
They should've-
conversation there. But I put my prosecutor brain on again with a suspect in custody. We sadly are a nation plagued by gun violence, but we're also plagued by sometimes the inability to have the person account for the violence that they have
Oh,
alleged.
New York Times is posting it too. Charlie Kirk was scheduled to debate progressive influencer Hassan Piker at Dartmouth College on September 25th. On his Twitch live stream, Piker reacted to the news with horror, urging some of his followers to stop making jokes about the shooting, and he expressed fear that he could be similarly targeted. This is a terrifying incident, Piker said. The reverberation of people seeking out vengeance in the aftermath of this violent, abhorrent incident is going to be genuinely worrisome.
Amend or reinforce laws to ensure, much like hate crime legislation that came before, the idea of if there are specific aspects you are targeting of a person can increase penalties, undermine the ability to actually have those crimes occur. And so this will be a part of the conversation. And again, we're talking about what appears to be just a guess here, given the facts we have, a premeditated act. If it's premeditated, if there's only been one shot fired, not targeting any other person, this is no longer generalized violence, and that means the investigative trail begins. It is electronic. It is what was on that person's body, how many cell phones, who they communicated with, where they may have been before this, who knew about their whereabouts. Did they travel across state lines? Were there other people involved, and now possibly an interstate or intrastate activity? Will the FBI be involved? Will it be a state or local aspect of it? This is at a time, of course, as you all know, David, especially about the motive from the President of the United States to ensure that crime is at an all-time low in the presence of reinforcing military officials at times to make sure that's the case. Will there be an expanded move now in that aspect of it? And if that's the case, will college campuses, which has traditionally been a bit of a island unto itself in terms of the ability of local law enforcement to come on, will it be treated differently? The investigation begins simultaneously when the family begins to process what it would be like to explain to these young children that daddy is hurt, and will he be coming home tonight or ever?
We certainly are awaiting answers as to his medical condition.
A turning point, USA official says Charlie Kirk is at the hospital, but it doesn't look good. Confirmed Kirk was shot in the neck. This is from Jennifer J. Jacobs, CBS News senior White House reporter. Here's a video of the old man being walked away in cuffs, footage showing the person who allegedly shot Charlie Kirk being taken into custody. As of now, we have no firm confirmation that this was the actual shooter. For the record, this is just footage of a suspect being apprehended. I'm going to repeat once again. This is footage of a suspect being apprehended. It's the same old guy that we saw earlier as well. We don't. I mean, look, in a normal environment, if we lived in normal times, if we had a normal, responsible government and not a bunch of psychopaths running the show, they would look at this incident and go, we have to actually take serious precautions and we have to look at gun control seriously. Okay? Charlie Kirk himself, as an advisor to the Trump administration and as a mouthpiece for a lot of the most reactionary right-wing sentiments being expressed in this country, has routinely talked about how gun violence is a unfortunate but necessary side effect of having the freedom of the Second Amendment. Okay? Quite literally, he has verbalized his opinions on this issue with the false notion, with the false assumption that it might not ever happen to him. Okay? And in a moment like this, a reasonable government would say, all right, enough is enough. Okay? But one that hasn't said that in the aftermath of Sandy Hook is most likely not going to say that in the aftermath of this incident as well, especially considering that there are school shootings happening with regular frequency. As I've said already, the Charlie Kirk shooting is the 46th school shooting that has taken place this year. 46. Yes, he said this. Charlie Kirk says gun deaths unfortunately worth it to keep the Second Amendment. You only say this if you don't think that you will ever be a victim to such political violence. Okay? I very much understand that this is a constant reality, for the record. Both political.
What's up, Casey? What's he saying? He's been on his best behavior. I think he's been pretty diplomatic about it thus far.
Political violence and just gun violence in general. Okay, there has been a 47th now, a fresh one.
He had to like clamp down on his chat. His chat was getting a little out of hand, and he was telling them to fucking to cool it, you know.
The same county as Columbine. Jesus Christ, there is another school shooting happening as this took place. Wait, what?
Yeah, I agree with Anok on that one.
Multiple people shot at Evergreen High School in Jefferson County. Okay, well, this is also breaking news.
I mean, the thing about Hassan is no matter how much you might hate him or not, like, he's not an idiot, you know? You can't... Only an idiot would take this fucking moment to, you know, react or respond to it in the complete opposite way that he's doing right now. You know, like PPG. PPG would be the kind of person that's sitting around drinking Bud Light, having a dance, you know? You know, obviously, you know, Hassan's not an idiot. He's gonna... And he, you know, despite what people might think, he might not even be that much of an asshole. That maybe there is some humanity to him that can recognize that this moment calls for a little bit more maturity. So, plus Hassan has a business. That is true. That is true. What's up, Cosmolano? How you doing? I think he's an idiot. There you go. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Gonna go into it, but AP says he's in critical condition. Is that what it is? Kirk, okay. Associated Press has an update, says Kirk is being treated and is in critical condition. A law enforcement official briefed on the shooting told the Associated Press. The official spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss the matter. Kirk co-founded Turning Point USA in 2012 at the age of 18 and soon became a regular presence on cable TV where he leaned into the culture wars and helped praise on then President Trump. I urge people.
I've been logging in since a few weeks ago, since my last wipe, so I'm trying to get the login. I was gonna say, you haven't streamed in a minute. I think the last time you streamed was that debate, right? That horseradish debate when you were the judge. I don't think I've seen you on since.
On the opposing side of American politics to really reconsider. Yeah, I saw I got a mention in the New York Times. I know. Because I was slated to debate him in 2 weeks. For the people who keep saying, brother, you need to get security. You need to understand, Charlie Kirk had security. He had a lot more security than I have ever had. I don't usually have security at all. Okay? I don't have any security when I go out to these sorts of events. I've done numerous public speaking engagements. I never bring security on purpose. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't have to be like this. And
ignoring how mature it is to use this event to advocate for gun restrictions. That is the highlight of his coverage. He does whatever the unhinged libs do, promoting gun control, as if guns would have stopped such an assassination. I'm just not, you know, you guys are on like level 27 analyzation right now. I'm on level 5. Okay, I'm burnt out. This, like I said, I've been up since fucking yesterday, right? So I'm not on your guys' level right now. But just assume I agree with you. It sounds like you're right on that one. Sounds like you agree with NOK too a little bit.
Reality of the matter is, this is a systematic problem. This is a systemic issue. Okay? Charlie Kirk had security. What do you do when someone is shooting at you from 200 yards away? Do you understand? That's why you have to solve this issue with good governance. I don't know what will happen with Dartmouth. I am not in contact with them. I've already informed my management on obviously Charlie Kirk getting shot.
I don't know if gun restrictions would have played a factor today. I mean, imagine if we had gun restrictions, right? Let's say you could buy a handgun and a hunting rifle, right? Something bolt action or something like that. You know, whoever did this shot knew what they were doing. That was a fucking well-placed shot, and fucking this wasn't some fucking, you know, just, you know, angsty kid in the basement who has an axe to grind against fucking Charlie Kirk. I think this person knew what they were doing, and even if we had gun restrictions, that person, a person who knows what they're doing, who had access to a hunting rifle, could place the exact same shot. You know, wouldn't be surprised if it's a military hunter. Yeah, exactly. You know, even if we had restrictions, reasonable restrictions would include handguns and hunting rifles, but no, assault rifles, essentially. Let's say that was reasonable. Even somebody who could make that shot at a couple hundred yards, would have been able to access a hunting rifle and land that the same way they did with whatever actual firearm was used.
So we'll see what takes place now. I don't think that I know that it's not going to be with Charlie.
What is that link? What is that link? Oh no.
Charlie, but I don't know if there's going to be an event at Dartmouth at all. We shall see. And before people say, wear a bulletproof vest, again, he got shot in the neck. A bulletproof vest would not have saved Charlie Kirk. Okay? Security did not save Charlie Kirk. The only thing that could have potentially saved...
Do mods have access like that? I know you're a mod over there. Do mods have access like that where you can do that? Or is it just like you can do stuff in the chat?
Saved Charlie Kirk from getting shot in the neck was it.
If not, let me know. I'll see if there's like a higher level. If there's a higher level, I'll give it to you.
If our administrations...
What's up, Mercury? How you doing?
Prior to this one and this one as well, actually had reasonable gun control as a policy provision in the immediate aftermath of, 100 other school shootings that took place. This is why I keep responding over and over again to people that go, hey man, why don't you get security? Hey man, why don't you get a vest? There's nothing. None of those things will save you. Okay? This isn't like before people say, oh man, you're making this political or whatever, but like, this is an issue. I need you to understand. This is an issue that is obviously very close to myself, considering that not only do I engage in public speaking with regular frequency at events as a very visible political commentator who just yesterday was called a terrorist and a 9/11 lover by the former governor of New York. Okay, there is a lot of tuning up, and there's a lot of agitation that I receive. I receive death threats with regular frequency. All this stuff is very close to the chest. There is not really anything you can do here aside from just not doing any public speaking engagements. There's not really anything you can do here aside from, existing in a more secure society, one that has significant restrictions on who can have guns. He had a 10-man private security detail for this event, along with campus and local police. Not fully confirmed, though. No, I know he has mad security. I know. But what do you do, regardless, in that situation where someone fires from 200 yards away and shoots Charlie Kirk directly in the neck? There's nothing you can do in that situation. There's nothing I would be able to do in that situation. It's just a matter of luck. It makes me consider that all of the incidents that have taken place thus far, where I don't know. What if they didn't? What? Anyway, the reason why I'm mentioning this is not to be like, I'm not going to have security or I'm not going to take even more necessary precautions in the future. Of course I will. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, like, Charlie Kirk did take those necessary precautions. Okay? And now he's in critical condition at a hospital. So one must ask the question, why? One must ask the question, how we got here. And if you personally think it's just because, kismet, I guess, well, there are ways to prevent this. There are ways to prevent this, not just for Charlie Kirk, but for the little school kids, the parents that are worried every day when they send their children to kindergarten, to school, to church. You shouldn't have to think about potentially being a victim to a mass shooting when you're out in public. That is insane. That's insane. The Charlie Kirk shooting is terrible, and I'm more broadly afraid that we're in a period of rising vigilante violence. I don't know what you can do other than condemn it, regardless of who's responsible. Yeah, key political violence and resilience trends from 2024. Yes, I know the New York Times mentioned me. I know. Charlie Kirk was scheduled to debate progressive influencer Hassan Piker at Dartmouth College on September 25th on his Twitch live stream. I was supposed to debate him 2 weeks from now at Dartmouth University. This is why I'm saying it's a you know, I have a closeness to the incident. The Deseret News article is probably not as up to date if they're saying the suspect is not in custody, because everything that I have seen so far, from mainstream outlets has been that the suspect is in custody. I have no reason to believe that is not the suspect, considering that that's what the media is presenting it as. Obviously, we are going to be awaiting some kind of report from the police that will give us more details. It's important to wait in these moments to get like verified information, but we'll see. He's Mormon too. Those were garments. Oh, he had the Mormon underwear on, because his pants fell off while they were moving him around. I don't know if they wore the Mormon underwear. Young people who attended the recent Turning Point events
on Kick, yeah, go for it,
expressed alarm about Wednesday's shooting at Charlie Kirk in Utah. It's absolutely sickening, said Ella Guidry, who has gone to...
yeah, that's fine. Sure. Go for it, XN.
Several TP conferences, including a summit for young conservative women. For people who follow him...
what are they doing to Kyle? Are they shadow banning him or something? Or what's the deal?
It's reminiscent of the one day in Butler, Pennsylvania, she said. A reference to the attempted assassination. I wonder if these guys are going to like put 2 and 2 together, by the way, about like the ready availability of weapons and how all it takes is just one person. You know, it seems like they're not. It seems like they're able to compartmentalize this as a totally separate thing, as though this is the type of violent incident that is, unfortunate, but always going to happen and has nothing to do with like the increased likelihood of political violence taking place with weapons, because you can just like purchase an arsenal of gear to do things like this. People then turn around and say, oh my God, I feel so safe when I'm in Japan, when I'm walking the streets. And it's like, yeah, you feel safe when you're walking the streets of Japan because they don't have guns. Like that's a major part of the reason, okay? There's just the people that you are around are not at any given moment could take out a weapon and shoot you. I know a lot of people have said the county he was in had a lot of extreme Z supporters, along with InfoWars dude a few weeks ago saying Charlie Kirk was concerned about it. Z supporters? What does that even mean? The old dude isn't the shooter, according to New York Times. New York Times confirms that the person in custody is not the shooter. I'm so confused. So the person is not in custody? What? The police have determined that a person who was taken into custody after the shooting was not actually the shooter, according to Scott Trotter, a university spokesman. This is 2 minutes ago. The university had earlier said a suspect was in custody, and video showed an older man being detained by police officers. Russia's supporters, like Z as in Russian supporters. A previous person they interviewed on Fox said the guy they arrested is someone he knows named George, and that George was poor but wouldn't shoot someone.
It's not.
Major English Esquire.
Like
I said,
becoming restricted and
Big Balls getting beat up. Big Balls getting beat up triggered
that I did not know.
a military occupation of DC. So I don't know what is going to happen in the aftermath of this. Obviously, I don't.
So yeah, but to tell who, if who is not 18 or who is 18. Like you're talking about people in the chat.
Think that Trump is going to sick the national
or just like viewers in general.
Part of the military onto Utah. Utah is a red state, so that actually complicates things from his perspective a little bit. But I could totally see him enacting vengeance on every college campus, in blue states specifically. Check the CNN article again. He was talking about transgender shooters right before he was shot. According to the CNN article, Charlie Kirk was answering a question about transgender mass shooters in America seconds before he was shot. The exchange goes as follows. Audience member, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Charlie Kirk, too many. The same audience member went on to say the number is 5 and proceeded to ask if Kirk knows how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence. Seconds later, the sound of a pop is heard and the crowd screams as Kirk gets shot and recoils in his seat. Crazy, just last week you were watching a video about him too? Brother, it's not even watching a video about Charlie Kirk. I was supposed to be at a public event alongside Charlie Kirk where I was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk 2 weeks from now. And if you were unaware of that, and that is because I usually don't promote this kind of stuff ahead of time for obvious reasons. The old man is a Hinckley Institute frequenter, according to a friend of mine who goes to U of U currently. He's a conservative, and my source says it wouldn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't seem like that person is the one who actually did it anyway. Yeah, while this is taking place, apparently there's also another high school shooting that's taking place in Colorado as well. Obviously, I'm not going to get into it until we have more details. But the conservative commentator Glenn Beck told Megyn Kelly on her live YouTube show that his daughter was at the event where Kirk was shot. She confirmed on Instagram that she was about 10 feet away and saw everything. Grums is replying to your tweets insinuating that you wanted this. Why would I want this? I literally have debated him publicly. I was supposed to debate him 2 weeks from now. Why the would I ever want this? Are you stupid? Do you think I want to die? Do you think I'm still? What are you, dumb? I'm a political commentator that gets death threats every day, 1 million times a day. I do public events all the time. Do you think I think this is good? Like, think for a moment. Even political ideologies aside, okay? Political ideologies aside, think for a brief moment. Does this person have self-preservation? Me, do I have self-preservation? Do I think about things like this potentially happening? Is this not on the back of my mind, for example? It is. People are actively, because we are so desensitized to violence in general in this country, the one country where this just keeps happening over and over again, people now don't even wait. There's no thoughts. There's no prayers. They just immediately go, who is my immediate enemy that I can shift the blame over to? How can I redirect the conversation? How can I redirect the conversation immediately back to not like a reasonable solution and ways to potentially prevent this sort of thing from happening, but instead, how can I move this conversation back to an enemy that I have online, for example, without even considering what that implies? Blame anything but a lack of gun control. Omar Fateh had a good response. The shooting of Charlie Kirk is horrifying. We cannot normalize or condone violence of any kind, especially across political differences. Minneapolis has been recently impacted and traumatized by a similar disregard for life. Gun violence must end. It doesn't matter how despicable you find people, okay? This is obviously an incredibly dangerous precedent. Kamala Harris, the former vice president, said on social media she was deeply disturbed by the shooting of Kirk. I condemn this act and we must all work together to ensure this does not lead to more violence. As far as the shooter, whether he's in custody or not, like I don't understand. They keep going back and forth on whether or not the shooter is in custody or not in custody. The police have determined that the person who was taken into custody after the shooting was not actually the shooter, according to Scott Trotter, a university spokesman. So I think like the old person that they apprehended might not have been the shooter after all. What is this? Utah Speaker Mike Schultz confirms Charlie Kirk is dead. Brigham Tomko, politics reporter of Deseret, says Charlie Kirk, 2 sources tell me Charlie Kirk is confirmed dead. Or 200 feet, not 200 yards. Audio, the footage is not, it's 200 feet. It was not a sniper. It sounded like a handgun. Wait, what? There's a new version of this post. That was from an hour ago. Utah Speaker Mike Schultz confirms Charlie Kirk is dead. Last edited 2 minutes ago. I mean, I'll await further confirmation. It's a rifle. You don't hit a shot like that with a handgun. Yeah, that's virtually impossible. I mean, it could, because it's a bullet, you know, a bullet is a bullet, but it would have to be like an insanely unlikely, it's just impossible. Like, it's virtually impossible. It just doesn't, it's ridiculous. CNN is reporting that the suspect who shot Charlie Kirk did so from 200 yards away. I don't know. If that's true, it means he was further away than the Trump assassin in Pennsylvania, and further away than Lee Harvey Oswald was when he shot Kennedy. It must be 200. It must be 200 feet and not 200 yard, right? Like 200 yards is like, I mean, that's an insane shot. That's like historic, right? Am I crazy?
No, that's not historic.
How many football fields is that? 2 football fields length. Yeah, no, but if it's also 200 feet away, then I feel like they would have apprehended the shooter instantly. You know what I mean? And the initial reporting, I think, said 200. The initial reporting said 200 yards. I'm pretty sure. The university spokesperson and a lot of people A lot of the original reporting said 200 yards, and the very fact that they were not able to apprehend, like the New York Times reporting said 200 yards, but now NBC is saying 200 feet. But I don't know. We have no information. We have no information at the time about who the shooter was, what weapon they used. I will obviously update as we get more information, but Charlie Kirk, I mean, not Newsmax, Real America's Voice.
Looks shorter than U.S. Marine Qual. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I used to qual with the M4, like 200 was anywhere from like 125 to 200 were the targets that I enjoyed. Because you have to qualify. I think it was like 50, 75, 100, 125, 150. 200, 250, 300, and the targets would pop up randomly, right? So I mean there was a pattern to it. You know, you would get used to the pattern at some point, but it wouldn't be just you wouldn't just successively, you know, go through the targets as the yardage increased. It would be like you would go 75 yards, then that would pop down after you shot it, and then another one would pop up 125, that would pop down, then the next one would be 100, then the next one would be 250. Then 150, then 300. So you just had to you had to get used to kind of just adjusting your sight just slightly to stay on target. But, and obviously anything that's like 50 to 100 yards is, you know, that's easy pickings essentially, you know, especially if you have like iron sights. But once you start getting into like 150, 200, 250, 300, you know, you kind of want some kind of optics. And obviously this person had optics for sure. I don't think you have to be really good. You have to be really good to land that in those conditions with iron sights. So, I mean, it just makes sense that there was some kind of optics involved. But like me with optics at 200, and I'm not even that good of a shot. Like, you know, 200 would be, I enjoyed when those 200 targets started popping up, so.
is saying that he's passed away. Trump is talking about Charlie Kirk in the past tense. This guy didn't even see the incident, by the way. He just saw it on the news. Okay, it's no different than like asking someone like you know, any number of different chatters in here. People got down in waves when shot was fired. Witness says Andrew Piscadlo was standing in the middle of the campus amphitheater on Wednesday waiting to debate Charlie Kirk about the Eighth Amendment when a single shot rang out. It was surprising. No one really got down until the people in the front of the stage did. Mr. Piscadlo, 28 of Salt Lake City, said in a phone interview, people got down in waves. He had been in line at the campus event at Utah Valley University waiting to speak and debate Mr. Kirk, as students typically do in the so-called Prove Me Wrong debates that Mr. Kirk, a right-wing activist, hosts. Confirmations are coming in slowly. I mean, this is Global Eye News, but I obviously saw Utah Speaker Mike Schultz confirm Charlie Kirk is dead a while back from Brigham Tomko, who is the politics reporter at Deseret News. So we don't have confirmation yet, but like it is all I'm saying is it is very, very, very unlikely that he survived that.
They'll also become more collective violence because they're happy about this or because they want revenge. Don't fall for it, guys. Keep common sense and what's about you. Yeah, I saw a lot of people today saying I wasn't radicalized until today, and now I'm just like fully radicalized. I saw a ton of people saying that.
Shot to the neck. After what I saw, I don't, you know, I just don't understand. I don't see how that happens. The speaker's tweet didn't say anything about him being dead. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. We don't know. I think a lot of people are just basically running off of they want to be first to market. I'm not giving you a full confirmation until we see it, okay? I don't know what Just the News is. Like OSINT accounts and things like that are utterly irrelevant in this. They could be right, but it doesn't matter until there is a real firm confirmation. Then, you know, I mean, look, mainstream accounts right now are even reporting incorrect information, like the old man that was arrested being the suspect, the potential shooter, and then turning around and saying he was not the shooter, and that the shooter was actually, all we know is he's in critical condition at the moment right now. That's the last piece of verifiable evidence that's come out. I know that Charlie Kirk's own news broadcaster, conservative online channel Real America's Voice, is saying that he's dead, but I'm not going to rush to that conclusion. But here's BBC's additional breaking news. Reporting person in custody has been released, according to CBS News' reports. University spokesman says that the person who was taken into custody after the shooting has since been released, which means that they did, like, it seems like they don't have the actual shooter. So does that imply that the actual shooter is at large? What does that mean? There's a chance to save an individual, but so many factors at play medically in terms of GSW triage. I know the New York Post White House reporter asked Trump about it, and he spoke about him in the past tense. Not good. He was a very, very good friend of mine, and he was a tremendous person. That's what he said. I know the New York Post White House reporter asked Trump about it, and he spoke about him in the past tense. Not good. He was a very, very good friend of mine, and he was a tremendous person. That's what he said. How do they have so much security, but they can't find the shooter? I don't know. Because, I mean, if someone is capable of shooting from a distance like that, and they hadn't accounted for any sort of like counter snipers or anything like that, which, of course, there's no expectation that they should. Why should they? You know, this is not the president. And even the president with sniper cover still almost got killed. I think we're forgetting, like, when he was campaigning, he almost got killed. Spectator Index says he's pronounced dead, but we don't know yet. I think
I want to bring in now
right.
our Jeff Zeleny.
Yeah, Ed Ingementum says this is the one case where far right new media outlets are going to have the info quicker than the mainstream news, and they're all saying that he's dead. I know that they're all saying that he's dead. Trump is speaking about Charlie Kirk in the past tense. I'm not going to give you an official confirmation until there is an official confirmation. That's it. Okay. It's just, there is very, very, very low likelihood that he survives something like that. Especially, look, I'm not a medical expert at all, but I just saw the amount of blood I saw gushing out of his neck on the moment of impact. It makes me feel as though it's, it's super unlikely. I mean, that was a ton of blood in literally less than a second. We know that he's in the hospital so far, and the official reporting from the hospital is that he's in critical condition, which is of course expected. The scourge of gun violence and political violence must end. The shooting of Charlie Kirk is the latest incident of this chaos, and it must stop. We cannot go down this road. There's no place for it in America. We wish for his recovery. Trump announced his death. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he's no longer with us. Melania, and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. Trump had to be the one to announce this. That's as close to an official confirmation as you're going to get. He's dead. Charlie Kirk is killed. Charlie Kirk was... Wow. This is insane. 2 minutes ago. This is from Trump's official Truth Social, by the way. I don't know if Trump is the best source. No, he is the best source. What are you talking about? As insane as as crazy as the things are, it would be Trump that announces that he's dead. That is the most Trump administration thing that could have possibly happened. First, the information is revealed to close friends. It leaks out to close friends and family, and immediately starts getting reported on by One American News and stuff like that. But then the official confirmation must come from Trump.
And my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife Erica and family.
CNN
Charlie,
is now reporting that
love you.
Trump has
Again,
announced
President
that Charlie
Trump
Kirk is dead.
Telling us at this hour that Charlie Kirk has died. Kirk was shot at a event at Utah at Valley University earlier today, shortly after noon, according to the university. There was a single shot that rang out. He was shot in the neck, and now the President of the United States, someone that Charlie Kirk was close to, is reporting that he has died. I want to bring in Kristen Holmes. She is live for us at the White House. Again, Kristen, we're of course mourning Charlie Kirk. This is a man who, he was 31 years old. He had two very small children, 3 and 1 ages, I believe. He is someone who was very close to the President of the United States, close to the Trump family, someone who played a critical role, if you talk to people around the president, in the president winning his second term. What are you hearing from those close to us? We, of course, read the statement that just came through from President Trump.
The Omaha. It's just compact. Keely? Oh, nice. Cool. I'm checking it out.
It's a very somber mood here. People are very upset. It's not just at the White House, it's really among Republicans as a whole. The Republican Party has become the party of Trump, the MAGA movement, and Charlie Kirk was really
Andrew
at the heart
Colvin.
of all of that.
Kirk's spokesman
He
says
is
Kirk is
credited
dead.
with a huge portion of Trump's win in 2024. He was on the ground. He created an entire system to get young voters out and excited and enthusiastic about Trump. And it's not
It's
just
done.
as though he
It's
was
over.
some kind of outside influencer. He was very close to the president himself. I know specific examples of times that the two of them went back and forth over various issues. When Charlie thought something was important to the MAGA base, he brought it to the president's attention. There are some people who believe that Charlie had his finger on the pulse of Trump's base more than even some of his own cabinet officials. He had a huge following and, again, was so close to the family, to President Trump himself. And one of the things, I continue to bring up is the fact that there was a lot of conversation during the transition as to potentially making Charlie Kirk part of the administration. But the ultimate decision was that he was more influential, had more power outside of being in a government position. He had been in Washington a number of times. He had been here with his family. He went to swearing-ins of numerous
Bro, how
officials.
the do they not have the shooter? I can't comprehend this, okay? One of the most televised events, okay? This is an incident on a college campus. Everyone's got a smartphone. Everyone, I guess the shooter shot from a distance, but God damn, dude, that is crazy. That is crazy. He's over. Oh, I don't like what is going to happen in the aftermath of this.
Actually going to also make a statement other than this Truth Social post. I know that they are in touch still with everyone close to Charlie's family. With his team at Turning Point, with the team around him, just trying to make sense of what happened. But I will tell you, I talked to, again, a number of officials within the administration who are close to President Trump who just can't wrap their head around what happened earlier today.
Yeah, I already,
of course,
I know.
of
The New
course
York
they
Times
can't.
reported
Kristen Holmes, stand
saying...
by for us as we continue to cover this story. I want to bring back our Scott Jennings. Scott,
The New York
first of all,
Times
I'm sorry
posted what I said after he got shot. I know.
What are your reflections on his life, his legacy in this moment?
Well, Charlie was one of the most unique and special people in the conservative movement today. What he was able to build, the people he was able to organize, was just so large. And
of course, they're AP is going live in DC in response to the death. I think that right now, does this make you rethink debating in public ever? I mean, I need to really reconsider the way I do everything outside for the foreseeable future. Dude, it's crazy. I got dudes literally stuck in Gaza DMing me about Charlie Kirk. That is crazy. That's how impactful and big of a news story this is. 1:36 p.m. Fox 13 Salt Lake City has spoken with an official from the university who said the school has surveillance video of the shooter leaving campus. We don't know exactly. That is This is the suspicion, I guess. That's what the New York Times reported as well, 200 yards. But it's a crazy distance for a shot like that. 30s up just in from AP. Authorities are still searching for the suspect in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk, mayor says. That is nuts. ABC special report. No Scott.
Young people into the fold.
Yeah, absolutely, David. The president himself did give a lot of credit along the way, of course, leading up to his win in November on the campaign trail. In fact, he gave Kirk a lot of credit, if not most of the credit, for a lot of that younger vote and for mobilizing a lot of those voters to go out and vote for him. I know the multiple times I've been over at the White House, I've witnessed Charlie Kirk there in the West Wing talking to advisors, of course, not a formal advisor. He was responsible, David, for helping with a lot of the vetting of the top cabinet officials and had a lot of input. He was one of those people right next to Trump in a lot of these meetings in his ear, and Trump was taking his advice. It wasn't just the White House, it was across government agencies, the Department of Justice. I know Kirk was very close with the Attorney General, with the Deputy Attorney General, so he did have quite an influence within the administration, even though he wasn't so outwardly seen, if you will, at these agencies.
Catherine Falders with us from our Washington Bureau. Catherine, we appreciate you and the team and the reporting here this afternoon on a very difficult story. Again, Charlie Kirk, co-founder of Turning Point USA, was shot and killed in Utah at a campus event, to the horror of the thousands who had gathered there. He was in the middle of what has become a trademark for him at these visits, in the middle of a debate of sort of back and forth questions being asked of him. I want to show you there was a moment of silence on the House floor in Washington for Charlie Kirk just moments ago. Bipartisan calls to calm this down, to bring the rhetoric down in this country. Again, there was a moment of silence that came.
Dude, by the way, right-wingers saying, oh, we got to tone down the rhetoric. Once again, people who perhaps are most responsible for setting up an environment where violence and instability is the norm for everyday Americans, okay? People who have set up an environment where there is just no solution to unlimited gun violence every single day, where parents send their children to school and there's no guarantee of their safety, and some experience exactly what the Republicans, the fear and anger that the Republicans are currently experiencing because they knew Charlie Kirk. Regular people experience that, unfortunately, all too frequently. Okay. Meanwhile, while they're talking about toning down the rhetoric of violence, Elon Musk, the owner of the website, took no time, like didn't even wait for the confirmation of Charlie Kirk's death. They immediately go, the left is the party of murder.
And this is the middle of the story.
Hey, social conversations, violence that, especially compared, I would say that he goes to a lot of college campus, noteworthy, like controversial guy. He's a conservative. He goes to a lot of college campuses, does live debates. This is a pretty popular format nowadays. And
The devil himself. The worst person ever. Let's go.
And Charlie Kirk has been popularizing it and utilizing it now for many years. And he was even featured in South Park recently because of it. Charlie Kirk definitely is not a super radical right-wing person, but I would say that he's more of the moderate to, kind of extreme right-wing. Very, very, I would say, lukewarm, though, in my opinion, at least especially, and this is where we're going, especially compared to now. And what I think is going to happen now, because obviously,
Oh god,
you
the video on the roof. 200 meters. I saw a couple videos of somebody on the roof. One of it's just like it looks like just a small bump on the roof that looks like it might be somebody. But I've seen another video of somebody running on that same roof.
these shootings like this don't really happen inside of a vacuum, and they never do, they never have. And I think that the situation that we have right now is that there is a tremendous amount of political violence that is advocated for, promoted, and allowed to exist on social media that has turned up the temperature in all political conversations, all social conversations, and all discourse on the internet in general, to a point where it's almost unbelievable unrecoverable. You have people that are out there all the time advocating for violence, advocating for people to get killed. Somebody needs to take care of this guy. Somebody needs to deal with this. I wish he were dead. Won't somebody do it? The 8647, all of the crypto messaging and all the doxing, right? Why do you dox somebody? Why do you post a person's home address? It's to make other people that are insane, like the person who killed Charlie Kirk, it's to give them the ammunition they need to kill that person and to put that person's life in danger. That's why they're doing it. And so that's the reason why they want to find out the identities of ICE agents. That's the reason why they want to find out the identities of Tesla owners, like at the beginning of the year. It's so they can destroy their car and destroy their lives. And this isn't necessarily a one-sided thing. I think that in the last 5 years or so, especially since BLM, it's been a like 90% left-wing thing. But that doesn't mean that the 10% right-wing people are right either. But I do think that now you're going to see a lot more right-wing people balancing out those scales. The fact is that you can take a knife to a gunfight all you want, and you can think that you're honorable, but you're going to end up being dead. And I think that's what right-wing people have done for a very long time. They've tried to speak above the political violence. They've tried to advocate above it and not try to stoop down to that level. But the issue is that a lot of these social media companies have expressed literally zero desire to even do the bare minimum of moderation. I think that two of the worst actors are Twitter or X and Reddit. Both of these platforms are full of a bunch of extremist nut jobs that not only should have their accounts banned, but they should probably be put in mental institutions. And I think that now...
On the roof with the gun? I don't think you could see the gun, Casey. I mean, the videos that I saw, one was just really far away, and there was like this the roof is pretty uniform except for this one little bump. That was one video that I saw, but another video I saw was like a very quick, like 2 or 3 second video of just somebody running on top of the roof.
I find it to be kind of interesting taking a step back for a week or so and seeing how many people are coming around to the inevitable reality that this is the only path forward. There are so many people in society now that are just completely unhinged, under-medicated, and really just completely insane that you can't have a
200 shot in a typical oil. Yeah, I was saying the same thing. Yeah, I mean, like, when I used to qual in the army, like if a 200 target popped up, I was usually hitting that with iron sights. Now I wasn't, shooting, at an inclination from a rooftop, but anything between 100 and 250 was kind of like my go zone. And anything that's before that's a little too easy. But once you get to like 250, 300, then it's a little bit more challenging.
Person like that running wild
500
out
irons,
in society, they cause...
Yeah, but you're a beast, dude. We had the farthest we had to qual was 300 with iron sights.
Problems for themselves, not to mention everybody else around them. And I think that the society, we need to have an honest conversation about how to deal with these people in a way that, and I'll be real, I don't really care about the people that are crazy. Their well-being and the way that, things are for them. Of course, obviously, I wouldn't want it to be bad, but it's certainly not important. What's really important is all of the people who aren't crazy, making sure that people that are not crazy, that are good actors, that are law-abiding...
Koala. What's up, Koala? How you doing? Genuine questions. Has changed your view on gun laws in the U.S. as a result? Do I know you, Koala? Do you know what my gun views are? I don't know that I've ever seen you before.
Citizens are able to live a life of peace, a life of prosperity, and a life without fear of going on the subway, for example, as at the recent event as well. And I think that every single person in the world deserves to live in a place like that. And I don't want to see, America turn into a PvP server. And it sure seems...
Slopping around? Okay. No, I'm with Nader. No. I know a lot of people put up these quotes about Charlie Kirk saying, that this was, that the unfortunate deaths of people at the hands of firearms, is an unfortunate side effect of the freedoms of the Second Amendment. And, if I happen to be the victim of gun violence at some point, then so be it. But, yeah, I'm with Nader on this one. I mean, no, actually, Nader thinks things are too restrictive. He wants nukes and tanks and stuff. I don't want nukes and tanks and drones. But, from where I'm at now versus where I've been since I've owned a gun, no, nothing's changed.
Like it is, and I think that in order to prevent that from happening, we need to have honest conversations about
What's up,
what
Watch?
do you do with people that get arrested 14 times, and it's not even a question, right? You put them in jail and you throw away the key, and you compel them to work, and that way you can make the money back from imprisoning them forever. That's the way that you solve that problem. It's very simple, actually, but for some reason, the way that makes people feel
probably gonna raid out here in a little
made
bit.
them unwilling to look at this obvious truth. If you look in history, this is what we've always done in history, and it's because it works. And the problem is that now we have so much of the discourse that's dominated by emotional thinking, that's dominated by the most unstable, the most virtue signal, the most, ridiculous performative empathy possible, and that's defining a huge political voice.
I guess the logic of a handgun, but sure, this was the use of an AR, and that feels like that's a lot of metal for self-protection when surely a pistol would suffice. Possibly. I mean, the thing is that we were saying this earlier. Whoever placed this shot knew what they were doing. This was not some fucking angry kid in their basement that played Call of Duty, right? This is a fucking well-placed shot. This is somebody that knew what they were doing. They were probably either law enforcement, ex-military, maybe they were a hunter, something like that. And even if you had reasonable gun restrictions, I imagine in a world where there were reasonable, quote-unquote, gun restrictions, it would involve people being able to buy handguns and hunting rifles. This person who placed this shot could have made this shot with a hunting rifle just as easy. So I don't know that gun restrictions would have helped this situation, because this person definitely knew what they were doing.
In the country, this has become
Hurt my scar. I want to get a scar. I think those are fucking badass, man.
a tremendous detriment to everyone. And I think that with people like the shooter that probably shot Charlie Kirk, with that guy in the subway, have that Ukrainian
Mars has
woman.
accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Yep, no problem, Koala. Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks for the follow.
Or with that trans shooter that shot up the school. One thing that's common among all of them is that these people, in almost all cases, were verifiably nuts beforehand, and nothing ever was done about it. And until we can stomach the idea...
Smaller MA than a semi-auto? Yeah. Yeah, and it would have likely had much more intense optics than... I mean, you can put pretty crazy optics on the lighter platform, but usually typically when you have like a hunting rifle, it's something bolt action, you're gonna have some pretty serious optics on that.
Of solving problems like that before they happen, we're going to keep having problems. And I think that with Charlie Kirk, it's very obvious that the amount of, political violence and advocating for political violence that's happening on the internet has turned up the temperature and created an environment and a culture where this type of behavior is normal. And not only is it normal, but it's actually encouraged. And the problem is that now people are acting on it. And you're starting to see this happen, and I think it's going to continue getting worse. I don't think Charlie Kirk is going to be the last one, but I think that we will look at Charlie Kirk's death and see it as a turning point in this topic. And what I'm really trying to get at here with this entire point is that right now we are at a extremely pivotal moment. And I think that what's going to end up happening is that right-wing people are not going to continue to turn the other cheek. They're not going to continue to just, this is just a crazy left-wing radical. I think you're probably going to see right-wing people doing the same thing to left-wing people. And honestly, while I don't think this is a good thing, I certainly don't really feel that sorry for them. because a lot of left-wing people have no problem advocating for violence, or at least using coded language in order to advocate for violence. The fact is that there's a certain level of intellectual dishonesty that goes on in situations like this, where it's considered, oh, well, you know, this isn't actually what they meant, and no, this is actually some others. No, it is. It's exactly what they mean. They're trying to advocate for killing people that they disagree with. That's what's happening, and there's no talking around it. And to the extent that you try to, you're insulting the intelligence of anyone that you're speaking to. And I think that now you're going to start seeing a lot of right-wing people end up doing this to left-wing people now even more, because it's very clear that these social media platforms are not going to moderate this behavior. The FBI, for whatever reason, just refuses to deal with or have any degree of accountability for dealing with these obvious terrorists that are in the country. And because of that...
Probably shouldn't say anymore. You can say whatever you want, as long as you're not putting my stream at risk. As long as you're not dropping slurs and doing TOS shit, I don't care what you say.
I think you're going to start seeing an uptick of violence from right-wing people as well. And this is going to be, in my opinion...
Oh, you're talking about what you were specifically saying there. I gotcha, okay.
I don't really think the word is justified, because it's not justified, but the word is expected. I think it's going to be expected. The fact is that, you know, again, you bring a knife to a gunfight, you're going to lose. And don't be surprised when you keep bringing guns to gunfights and then somebody else decides to start shooting back. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think this is a degradation of society as a whole. And ultimately, the real burden of responsibility here doesn't really fall on influencers, and I don't think that it falls even on the commenters themselves. I think it falls primarily on the government. The fact is that the government, there are already laws that permit, explicit calls to violence. There's already laws that permit the types of stalking and doxing that people engage in online. And one of the big things that is a misconception is that people like me want new laws. We want any form of extra censorship at all. I certainly don't want that, and I don't know anybody else that does either. But what we do want is we want the existing laws to be applied and to be enforced in an accurate and a fair way, which is clearly not what's happening. And really, the government not doing that and giving this asymmetrical, in my opinion, advantage to left-wing people to fully and with complete freedom practice genuine terrorism on a daily basis, and then, congratulate each other about how moral and how good they are for doing it because something bad that happened in Palestine or something bad that Donald Trump did 3 years ago. This is just simply a response. This is what's going to happen. And so, and I think that that's probably what it's going to take for these left-wing people to realize what a bad idea what they've been doing is. Because until it starts happening to them, until they start having people that are their friends or, their...
Not long ago, a young man named Nikita Kasap killed his parents and was planning to kill Trump by means of a drone. He ties with the O9A Misanthropic Division, who have links to Nazi terrorist Azov movement in Ukraine. He was in contact with an unknown Ukrainian who was sent to send the materials needed in the attacks, and Nikita planned to travel to Ukraine after the assassination, according to the release. Wow. How'd they find that guy?
Like icons that they look up to, the same way people looked up to Charlie Kirk. Until they start seeing those people get killed, I don't think it's really going to be real for them. And unfortunately, I think that's the path that we're headed down because of the
biggest issue I have is the whole situation is the idea that someone's opinion was fact over someone else's. That's the reason he got shot, really. I accept that he said stuff that's upset some groups, but to kill him rather than debate him highlights the points that opinion is just treated as fact instead of... Yeah, I agree with that, Koala.
The government and social media companies and every other seemingly governmental apparatus that has just completely hand-waved this problem and ignored it entirely. So the death of Charlie Kirk and the assassination of him should not come as a surprise to anyone. This should be something that everybody could have expected. All you had to do is read Twitter for an hour and you could have told me this would have happened, of course. Same with Reddit. And until that core problem is addressed, you will continue to see a rapid decline in any type of social discourse. And I'm actually kind of afraid to see what's going to happen next, because I think it's just going to continue getting worse, and I don't see the reason for it to stop. And so anyway, I wanted to make this video because it's obviously a topic that, you know, I've been talking about this a lot for the past few years now, and I was laughed at a lot, and people were telling me it wasn't that big of a deal, and oh, they were joking. Well, I saw the video. That wasn't a joke. And the reality is that those jokes and everything create a culture and an environment where the actual actions are more permissible. And you also have people that are the ones telling the quote jokes that are talking around just, you know, directly, you know, saying that this is a bad thing and it shouldn't be tolerated for any reason. You have, I don't want to go through a bunch of different names, but anybody, this is the way I look at it, I'm just going to make a categorical judgment here, is that any content creator or anybody like this who has been advocating for violence against a person in an extrajudicial way. I'm not talking about trying people who they disagree with for treason. This is advocating for the judicial process to be used against people they disagree with. I think that's fine. But whenever you have people that are saying things like 8647, or anybody who's advocating for any form of extrajudicial justice, extrajudicial justice, and basically vigilante justice on people who they disagree with politically, you have to realize that all of those people, I think, have made themselves acceptable targets. And I think that there's a lot and millions of people out there nowadays that see that. And I think that that should be extremely worrying for them. It should be terrifying. But the reality is that they have created that environment themselves through their own actions, through their behavior, and through their own words. You reap what you sow.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And I think that things are about to get a whole lot worse. So anyway, guys, I wanted to make this video and talk about it. And that's about all I've got to say. So I hope to be back soon. I'll record videos when I can, here and there. But for the most part, as I said before, my dad has had so many really serious issues going on. I need to devote my full attention to making sure that he's healthy and taken care of. And so as much as I look forward to streaming, this has to take priority. I don't have a time frame. It will probably be a matter of weeks, and maybe not even that long until I'm back regularly. And so hopefully that's the case. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Another senseless death that never needed to happen. And I think that anybody who was, you know, talking about this and turning up the heat on any of this type of political rhetoric and discussing, or at least, you know, flirting with the idea of political violence, I think all of those people have made themselves acceptable targets in all of the worst ways possible. And I don't think that this is a good thing either, but I think it's happened. So anyway, guys, thank you all very much for watching. And I guess I'll see you soon. Anyway, peace.
All right, guys. What?
There you go. Alright, I'm fucking exhausted. So I'm gonna send you guys over to Tocahantas. Tocahantas seems to be talking about this right now too, so go have fun with her. You guys can talk with her about it. Thank you, everybody. Maybe I'll be on tomorrow, we'll see. I don't know. Casey, NK, Tony, Grand, Nader, Moper, Koala, Grand, XN, and blah, blah, blah. Anybody I missed. I will see you guys later. Peace. Yep, no problem, Koala. See you later.
Really? Here we go.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, we just emphasize we don't know any of the full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea. But
welcome to the Aloha Gang, everybody. We're going over this traumatic event in our society yet again. Another shooting of a political figure. There's another mass shooting today. Just, you know, another day in mass shooting USA, as Justin Freakin does say. Nader, what's good? Oh, good. We're all here. Yeah, like a crazy day. How's your stream? I literally found this out like an hour before I started streaming, which was now 5 hours ago. So, yeah, it is now 9/11. Thank you for your service, Camel Tony. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, we're just watching Jimmy Dore right now and his commentary. He's just reiterating basically everything we already know. Wash stream, welcome in. Sad as fuck, not gonna lie. The more we do this, the more political stability will break down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wash stream, like we're already divisive, and this is gonna make us even more politically divisive.